Welcome to a Merciless Gaming Media Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Today, we are playing our fourth episode of After the Tomb of Annihilation. Playing the role of a Zentalar assassin, the Rander Velquindus is Jerome. Geth Stronghold, the human barbarian, is played by Hegan. Strokehog Brewbane, the dwarven cleric and druid, is played by Nick. Mr. Bubbensworth, the Ketsoon Ranger, is played by Casey. Myself, Patrick, will be acting the part of everyone else in the entire world as today's Dungeon Master. In last week's episode, the party had made their way down into a specific level of Undermountain, obtained what they believed to be information that may help them figure out a way to destroy the Crown of Thorns, the first of the 26 cursed phylacteries that are now in the party's possession after pilfering the Tomb of Annihilation. Let's wish the party some luck and jump right on into it. So last we left our intrepid adventurers. You had worked your way down to one of the dungeon levels of Undermountain in search for information in regards to the UNT pureblood Nyrus Dahothek, and more specifically a phylactery that's associated to him known as the Crown of Horns. After doing some delving down in his dungeon lair, you believe that you have obtained some information that may lead you to the destruction of this phylactery. Specifically, the information is less of knowing how and more of maybe somebody who knows how. And that person is the current Blackstaff of Blackstaff Tower. She goes by the name of Vajra Blackstaff. You have made your way out of the dungeon, through Skullport, and back into the streets of Waterdeep. What would you like to do? How would you like to do it? Where would you like to go?
Well, I think at this time our best bet would be to go back to the docks and get a hold of our contact within the organization, Deval.
Deval Star Song?
Yes, and see if he can manipulate the proper channels to maybe gain an audience with the current Blackstaff, or maybe get word to the current Blackstaff of the situation and the need that we have to speak with them about dealing with this lich and phylactery.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Despite our organization ties, I think something as much as a lich and its phylactery can kind of cross that, hey, you guys are Zents, you guys are bad guys, and I'm the Blackstaff and I'm a good guy, so I can't work with you. I think that lich stuff kind of negates that normal I can't work with you boundary because of who you work for. So I'm hoping so, because a lich is kind of a threat. So I'm hoping that the current Blackstaff will be willing to at least have an audience with us, or send somebody to maybe meet with us and discuss the situation.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully it will work, since we all have a common enemy here, and that's the lich.
Or liches, plural.
Yeah.
Not to put too fine of a point on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all fair. Just to point out, it's probably a good assumption that Vajra Blackstaff doesn't know who you are or who you're associated to. That could potentially change if DeVille Starsong is the one who makes the introduction. He is a known agent within of the Zents within the city of Waterdeep.
Well, if that would be a problem, then I mean, how easy is it just to walk?
Just to be, I'm not saying it is a problem. I'm just pointing it out.
Okay. I mean, how easy is it to just go to the tower and gain audience? I know at one point, in another campaign, our characters did just that, but at the same time, there was also wizards, and they were also working for, I believe it's the Grey Hand.
Yeah, so I don't know if your character would know anything about the Grey Hand.
So, I mean, I doubt it because we're not from Waterdeep, so.
Correct.
But I mean, that was a different circumstance, so I don't know how accessible it is to actually. I mean, I suppose you can go to any keep or tower and request an audience with the lord or the lord or whoever's in charge of that tower. It just depends on your personal standing.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think of the word.
Reputation?
Yeah, reputation, but like if you're an important person or not, basically. Whether you're going to get back to that day or in a week or a year. Because they're like, I don't have time for the common rabble on the street coming to ask me for a favor. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I understand what you're saying.
We understand that somebody like the Blackstaff is... And I'm not using the name because I don't know who the current Blackstaff is. This character doesn't. So I'm just calling them the current Blackstaff. We do know that Kelvin is no longer the Blackstaff. Correct. But other than that, I don't know who the current one is. So I'm just referring to them as the Blackstaff.
Understood. You guys make your way back to the dock. Your kind of hideout / headquarter / warehouse on the docks of Waterdeep. It gives you a chance to kind of relax for a moment. It was very stressful working your way down through the dungeon and facing the dangers thereof. It gives you a chance to maybe get in a short or a long rest, get some food in you. Not necessarily a warm meal, but whatever little bits of bread and cheese and wine that's left there from the previous picnic basket that was left by DeVille Starsong. It will be later that evening. And it's probably normal for what DeVille and his group does to have later hours of operation, but he does kind of swing by that evening, and he's very good about letting you know when he's coming. There's a particular song that he whistles, and you can hear him coming down the dock whistling as he makes his way to the warehouse. He opens the door, steps in. Ah, I see you made it back. I hope everything went well. You are alive, so I guess that is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, our foray into the Undermountain was dangerous, but we did manage to come up with some information, and I got a couple of questions for you, as long as you got the time.
I can make a couple of moments for my good friends.
So we found out how to deal with this phylactery. We didn't find out the definite, but we know the person who can deal with it and the undoing of it. But unfortunately, we think that this person might be a little bit beyond our means of contacting. And what we were able to find out was that whoever the Blackstaff is, that is the person that originally had used a ritual to I can't remember off the top of my head if they destroyed the crown or if Kelvin so Kelvin Blackstaff destroyed the crown, but the god Merkle. Oh, where did I come with Nurgle? This isn't Warhammer. My bad. Merkle actually reformed him. So when you got a god on your side, that's kind of...
Reform the crown?
Yeah. When you have a god on your side, it's kind of... But we're kind of hoping that if we do it again, that this time around, Nyrus de Hotek's get out of jail free card, so to speak, has already been used up. The problem we're having is how easy is it for unknowns to come to where this Blackstaff resides and seek an audience to meet with that person to discuss this situation and possibly gaining their aid in it.
Well, I have met the Blackstaff. The current Blackstaff goes by the name of Vajra. She seems like a nice enough individual for a Blackstaff as they go. I could try to get you an audience. I'm not really sure how much weight I myself personally carry. I do know some individuals who are a little more closer to her an audience, but they're unfortunately indisposed at this time. However, if you like, I can show you a way to try to message her directly. It's your choice whether you want me to give it a try or if you want to try it yourself. Here in Waterdeep, we have a magical messenger system. They're called birds, and with a proper piece of paper, you can write a message. If you know the person that you're writing and you put their name down accurately, the bird will fold itself, or the piece of paper will fold itself into a bird and track down the individual as long as they're within the city of Waterdeep. May have some difficulty getting inside the tower, but it won't quit or stop until it succeeds.
Okay.
Or until somebody destroys it.
So would you recommend maybe doing a few copies of the message just in case, or?
I don't see any reason why anybody would try to destroy your message.
There are some forces that are quite powerful that are got their eyes on us and are working against us at this time.
That's fair enough. It's your call, but I can get you a couple of pieces of a couple birds if you'd like.
That would be fine, and then what we'll do is we'll just try sending one, and then we'll give it a little bit of time, and if we don't hear anything, then we'll send another and just continue. And if that doesn't work, then maybe we can try your avenue and see if there's maybe somebody you could reach out to help us. Because as far as we know of this, the Blackstaff, Vajra, is she's going to be our only hope, so we have to do what we can to reach out to her.
That does sound desperate.
Well, it's not really the choice that I would have preferred, but I guess everything's got its purpose and its way of fixing itself, I guess. I don't know.
All right, well, I will be back. I do have some things I have to take care of this evening, but before too late, I promise I will be back with a couple of birds for your use. Is there anything else I can get you while I'm out?
No, I don't think so. I think if we require any more food or refreshments, we can do that ourselves. We do have the means to do that. I appreciate the hospitality thus far.
I understand. I just figured you wanted to keep as low as a profile as you could. But if you are feeling comfortable about getting out and about, by all means, don't let me stop you.
I'm not too worried about moving around, especially in the night.
Fair enough. It's too bad that you're all tied up with these circumstances. I really could use somebody of your specialty and other means, but maybe once you get all this taken care of and out of the way. Oh, that reminds me. I did send some information to Darkhold.
Have you heard word back yet?
I have heard some grumblings. One of the questions I had is whether moving you to Darkhold was a wise choice. At this point, unfortunately, they're leaning to keeping you far away until certain circumstances play out. Which is quite unfortunate because there are individuals within Darkhold who might be better suited in helping you.
Gotcha.
But it sounds... The impression I get is that the level of trouble, danger, they're very cautious about.
I will continue to put in word for you and see if we can garner you some additional assistance. And don't take this the wrong way, but it appears at this point it's keeping you at arm's length.
I understand. I was kind of hoping that the foothold that we had gained, the organization in Cholt, would have garnered us a little bit more help, but at this point, I'm glad to at least have a roof over my head and some friendly contacts that we can reach out to.
Well, I and my good friends are here to help you with it if it's within our power to do so.
We'll do what we can to make sure that no harm comes to you.
And on that note, a good evening. And he walks out of the warehouse. Little skip to his step and a little whistle on his lips. Later that evening, a little less, I don't know, boisterous, a little less obvious, a little less steppy whistling, almost still dramatic, but in his own kind of like mysterious way. You hear a knocking at the door to the warehouse.
Was somebody gonna get that?
Who is it?
It is I, Baron Vernjon Blacktower. May I enter your abode?
I'll go unlock the door.
You're still alive, I see.
No, just figments of your imagination.
Well, then it's one hell of imagination that I have.
Boo.
Ridiculous.
How is your investigation going?
Well, we came up with a lead, but right now we're waiting to see if that lead is going to pan out or not. So our trip into Undermountain wasn't worthless. We found the location of one of our targets, but we need a little bit more before we go in and actually try to take that target out of the equation.
Well, I myself may have some helpful information for you. In my investigation, what I have come across is information on a place known as the Monastery of Ragash. This monastery resides within the Sunset Mountains. It was built by one of the liches that you have obtained their phylactery. Now, what makes this individual lich stand out is that this lich and his followers have dedicated quite some time to the study of the negative material plane. I suspect there may be answers to how to find Asarak's demi-plane and how a mortal such as yourself may survive in that environment. He then walks over to one of the chests, one of the many chests that you have in the warehouse, and opens the chest. If you look on your list of chests and phylacteries, this one specifically, if I remember correctly, is labeled with question marks.
There's actually two of them that are just symbols.
Or symbols, yes.
One of them's number 9 and number 25. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I don't have that list. Can I see it real quick? I guess it doesn't matter. One or the other. Half a dozen of one, 6 of the other. He opens it, and he doesn't open it for very long. He slams it shut really quick, because you can see for but a brief moment this almost like ethereal life essence being pulled and ripped out of his body through his mouth and his nose, and being sucked into this black ethereal non-material object that's kept in the box. And as he shuts it closed and he turns around, you can see just a little bit of extra wrinkle in his face, a little white along the edges of his hair. And he shakes it off. Yes, I do believe that was a little more potent than I expected, by the way. It's quite powerful. Give me a moment to compose myself. Yes, man, that really took it out of me. I do believe. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, scratch right there.
Pat.
I do believe this is the phylactery associated to the lich named Valkaran. A lich who has spent a lot of their time and life on the study of the negative material plane. And I believe that piece in the box is actually a fragment of the negative material plane.
So real quick, will you look at this list? Is number 6 Iris de Hotep's phylactery? Because I want to start writing the corresponding lich name next to the phylactery.
Understood. Give me a moment. I believe it is, but let me just double check. Yes, that is it. Number 6.
Okay.
Correct.
That way I can keep track of which phylactery goes to which lich.
Sure, fair enough.
Not that I hoped I would ever have to make a list like this in my gaming career, but here I am.
Who would have thought you guys would have been stuck with 26 phylacteries?
Not me.
Me neither.
It's a dream come true.
Yeah.
So is this Valakaran character?
Valkaran?
Is he?
Would you like me to spell that for you?
You can. I kind of wrote it down how it sounded.
VAL KHARAHN. Valkaran, maybe? Valkaran. Probably a better pronunciation. Valkaran.
So with you giving us this information, are we to assume that if we go to this monastery that he's gonna peacefully have information for us, or is this we have to go there and snoop around like we did in Undermountain to find out the information we need?
I seriously doubt that he would allow you to just walk in through the door unmolested. I suggest this to you as a possibility of a means to figure out how to track down Asarak's demiplane.
One thing that I've been thinking about,
which I also believe resides near the border of the negative material plane.
So one thing I've been thinking about, and I don't know if this will work or not, it's quite off the wall, so to speak. If I'm to understand this correctly, Asarak has been holding these other liches' factories phylacteries hostage?
I believe
Or was he guarding them for them, and they serve him?
the answer to your question is a mixed bag.
Because what I was thinking is, if there was a way to reach out to 26 different liches and telling them if they could bear the fact that we will not harm their phylacteries, and if they would aid us in getting to the demiplane to destroy Asarak, they would then be able to break the curse and retrieve their phylacteries from us without the alternate, and then they wouldn't have Asarak to deal with in their life anymore. Kind of an alliance. Because this is going to end, it can end multiple ways, but I think the beneficial way for this to end, and then with him being in the life of undeath, the thought of mortals destroying their phylactery and them with it is not usually a good option. So I'm not saying it could end poorly if they take it the wrong way. We're not, like, I don't want to threaten them, but at the same time, I would rather that they just kind of backed off and if they could help us go after him, like, not, I mean, obviously he's got some kind of power over them, or they fear him to some degree. But if they would just leave us be, or point us in the direction of what we needed to do to get to him so that we can stop him, and then, I don't know, even if all they did was stop the attacks, the random attacks that are gonna, you know, they're not gonna get these phylacteries. They're not gonna kill us. We're not gonna let them.
I believe some, not all, not even by half, of these phylacteries belong to a group known as the Twilight Cabal. The Twilight Cabal is an order of liches that are devoted to Asarak.
Wow.
They are known as the Ancient Ones. I think your plan has merit. I think it's the Twilight Cabal that will trip you up.
Then,
Now, if you would like, I could try to do some research to see if I can figure out of your 26 phylacteries which ones might belong to the Twilight Cabal, and that would maybe give you at least some information of who to avoid.
if you could do that, that'd be much appreciated.
I can certainly try my best. Much like the dungeon that you met and fought Asarak, the tomb where you found these phylacteries, I believe that Asarak has many of these on other prime material worlds, maybe even another one on this one. In my research, part of my research is to see if I can track one of these down, provide you that information if you're interested to go into another Asarak dungeon to see if there's any information there that might also help you. Though be warned, there is also the possibility of running into another 26 phylacteries.
If we don't take them with us, though,
Yeah, you should be fine as long as you don't touch them.
Oh, it just keeps keeping better and better.
And to think, when I picked all these up, I thought we were going to be rich.
Psych!
Now we have to deal with this.
My guy has inscribed on his leather armor, I survived Cholt, and all I got was this lousy suit of armor.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. One last bit of information. I believe that there is another lich within reach. That may help you indirectly find... Well, never mind. I'm going to hold off on that. You're not ready for it.
You're not ready.
You're not ready for it.
You can't handle the truth. You ready?
Is there anything else
ready?
that can help you?
I'm just kidding.
Anything else you think I can help you find? Information I can help gather? Mr. Bubbinsworth, how are you doing, by the way?
Quite well. It's good to see you again. It's been different hanging out with these people. But slightly pleasant.
Slightly.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it is not unpleasant. Or is it?
This one keeps giving me a hard time, this tiny dwarf man.
Tiny dwarf.
Oh. But it is okay. I will keep an eye on him.
Now listen here, button up. You've been pulling your weight so far. You just need to go a little bit of that extra mile. Just a wee bit.
I have no idea what he just said. Did any of that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm. Not really.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being insulted, but I don't really understand.
What, you guys don't speak Dwarvish?
I don't speak Dwarvish, but I'm not really sure what that was.
Yeah.
It was like a incoherent blathering.
Carrico brag.
That, I believe, was Dwarvish.
I think you might want to explain to your friend Mr. Bubbinsworth how dangerous these liches are. He seemed a little disappointed that we didn't engage in the last one.
Oh.
In combat, that is.
That would have been an excellent opportunity to obtain information.
I think we have obtained a quite good amount of information.
How are you going to obtain information? Are you going to come back and speak with dead to our corpses?
I could.
I'm strong.
I'm sure I could find it quite helpful.
How does that help the situation, though?
Well, if the situation is as I believe it to be, it is to obtain information.
And how are we supposed to get that information when we get murdered mercilessly?
I would recommend that you try not to get murdered.
Hence the reason why we didn't fight the Lich.
It's a darn shame.
It would have been exciting.
I agree.
Have you, either of you, faced the Lich in combat?
I've never been put in a position where I would be forced to do that. No.
Well, we fought Asarak in Cholt.
And survived.
Barely.
I have to assume that this Lich that you just faced is but a mere shadow of Asarak.
We had to pull out our secret tricks in order to beat Azarak. Do you really think that we're going to be able to stop another Lich without being prepared or knowing what's about that Lich?
I would hope you would be able to stop 26 of them plus one.
They seem a little traumatized from the first one.
Yes.
Traumatized?
I think that is a very true statement. They do seem to be traumatized.
Shut your damn holes!
When are you trying to go to sleep?
I just walked off.
Like, that's just twitching. I'm not traumatized.
I'm not true.
Like,
No, that was when I had the PTSD flashback when I was searching for traps and there was nothing there, and then the trap got me anyway.
it was on the ground just...
I thought it was appropriate.
It wasn't. There's nothing appropriate about reliving Schultz. Anybody who's played it, I'm sure, if their party didn't survive or did survive, knows what we're talking about.
Ah, you guys lived.
Barely. You call this living? Hunted by the choices we made in Cholt.
Yes, correct. Very true.
See? Traumatized.
I agree. They are traumatized.
Missing out on the opportunity of...
You know what would help make you feel better. Killing a lich.
A few liches.
Yes. I think that would help you get over this emotional mental hump that you're dealing
I
with.
feel like I will always be in this emotional hump because one thing I knew I was about to fight a lich. Next thing I know, I'm laying on the ground being woken up by this guy. Because apparently I got knocked out like that.
But you survived.
Barely.
Huh.
Have you ever seen a lich stop time and then cast multiple spells and just watch your entire party
No.
hit the ground?
Fascinating.
That is fascinating.
Well,
So the lich stopped time.
I'll tell you what.
And then did what now?
And he blew most of us up except him.
I'll tell you what. The next time we come across a lich, we'll push you in, close the door, and then you can get all the information you want. And then when you're done, come back out and tell us how it went. I agree to that! And then you could tell me how fascinating it is.
I'm more of the observer type of person.
Unfortunately, we don't have room for observations in this group. There's some serious shit going on here, my friend. The time for observation is done.
That's right. It is time for action.
I can only imagine we just throw.
Have no doubts, friend. I am a killer. It is what I do. It is my only purpose to walk this earth is to kill. But at the same time, I do not recklessly attack my targets without knowing their weaknesses or how I'm going to go in. I do not go into a fight without having the upper hand. That is how I've survived all these years, and my targets have not. I do not take unnecessary risks when it comes to combat.
My good man, I digress. You are absolutely correct. Your approach does seem to be quite pragmatic. I cannot argue with your logic.
I will teach you.
I can only imagine us throwing this.
I'm just kidding. I don't think he learns anything. We're just peasants to him, man. I like the way he talks because he totally talks down to us all the time.
I can only imagine us. I can only imagine us like throwing Mr. Bubbinsworth in the room with the lich. We just don't hear anything for a second, and then we just hear the door. Let me out! Let me out!
You gonna behave? We'll open the door.
His whole life perspective changes at that moment.
Okay, now you're ready to join this group. You understand what we've gone through. Welcome. So it'll be like your rite of passage. Survive a lich. Then you can join our group. And be emotionally scarred like the rest of us.
Seriously emotionally scarred.
I am emotionally scarred. I'm emotionally scarred and physically scarred from all the times my arms have basically been ripped off.
Which you gotta understand though too. I mean, I think that's a fair with the situations that we dealt with in Cholt. You know, every like footstep that we took, we didn't just walk through and stroll through the jungles of Cholt. It was like a fight to take that next step.
Tippy-toeing.
And the whole thing is like everything combined together. If you really think about the emotional and physical drain that type of an adventure would have on like any type of character or person in real life, you would understand. I think the wackiness that we kind of take that this role playing to is somewhat justified, because that was in all the years I've gamed, I've never played an adventure that was that punishing when you made a mistake. It was definitely no joke. I mean, the gloves were taken off, and I think to a certain degree the DM might have pulled a few punches here and there. I ain't gonna lie.
It's possible that the DM pulled a couple punches.
Because I mean, that place is designed to. It'll put you to the test.
It is designed to put you to the test.
We met Valindra back there. You really think it's not going to be hard or it's not going to be scary when you meet Valindra?
Valindra Shadow Mantle actually was the first lich you ran into. I do remember that.
One of these phylacteries doesn't have to be Valindra's, does it?
Oh my gosh.
I'm just the DM, I don't know.
She'd be like, oh, I remember you. Didn't I give you guys that citadel? Isn't one of your buddies floating around over Cholt in it?
Now, just as a backup and a reminder, after you took care of Asarak, she did show up. So the chances are if her phylactery was in that room, she probably would have taken it.
It's fine with me. We don't need, she already knows about us, so we don't need somebody that knows about us coming after us.
I believe she got exactly what it was that she wanted.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think about that, dude. Damn.
What?
Another thing that's going to come back and haunt us later on, probably.
What happened?
Guess what? Huh? Huh? What?
Don't worry about it. We'll find out eventually. It's funner when it's a surprise.
Rear its ugly fucking head here pretty soon.
Maybe not pretty soon, but...
Gets just this in the hall.
What?
Huh?
Eh?
Valentra? Huh?
What the heck was that? Jeez.
Wires.
He's got his wires all crossed.
All right, gentlemen. I've taken your requests. I've given you the information that I have. I will continue to go about my research. You let me know if there's anything else that you'd like to have me work on.
I think if you could find us out who the Twilight Cabal members are, I think that would be most helpful at this point. Because like you said, for us to avoid them, at least in the approaching as allies, or attempting to be allies, obviously they're the members of the Twilight Cabal are definitely not going to be on board with that. So if you can give us a heads up of who they are, that would be greatly appreciated.
I will do my very best to work on that. I do have a request for you, my good gentleman. As you progress, any information that you do obtain in regards to liches and their undead servants, a journal, a scroll, maybe your own personal writing, I would love to get my hands on that.
Can keep an eye out. It's the least we can do. If you're willing to help us out, I don't see any reason why we can't trade those types of things for that help.
Excellent.
As long as whatever you do with it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass later, I have no problems with it. We've got one mess on our hands. We don't want to add another one to it later on down the road.
I assure you, I am not here to cause you any more problems. As a matter of fact, I have given you one of my most helpful servants, Mr. Bubbinsworth, as kind of a show of good faith, collateral, if you will.
Well, then, on top of that, I will just take that as your gentleman's word, then.
Excellent. A good day to you, gentlemen.
Good evening. Because I think it's nighttime, right?
It is getting into the evening, yes.
Okay.
It is nighttime, yes.
I know that these crazy undead worshippers that you two are run on different schedules, so it might just be good day.
It's good morning, though.
Yeah. We are creatures of the night.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the Baron skips out, leaves the warehouse, leaving the four of you to your own thoughts and devices.
Well, I'm just going to relax.
A couple hours getting into the later hours of the evening, you hear a whistle. It's the same happy, almost bar tavern like ditty. Coming through the door is the Ville Star song. Ah, you're still here and alive, I see. Forward progress.
Does everybody keep saying that when they come and see us? I'm going to stop hanging out here if every time I come in here people are like, oh, I was half expecting to see you lying dead on the floor when I walked in. Amazing.
It is amazing.
You survived another day, you lucky sons of bitches. Fuck you, Jonesy.
Fuck you, Shorzy. So from his pocket he pulls out 4 pieces of paper. From a bag on his side, he also pulls out a stoppered little jar of ink and a handful of quills and sets it on top of one of the crates in the warehouse. I hope this will work for you. All you need to do is write your message, who you are sending it to. I would recommend putting your own name if you want a response. And once you're done and you finish writing the person that you want to send it to, it will fold itself up and begin its journey to the individual that you're trying to message to. I recommend that you leave a window or a door or some other means for the bird to leave the building.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And my pleasure.
Am I writing the note?
Are you asking me or asking the rest of the party?
I was asking these guys. See if anybody else wants to do it.
Not me. I'll be like, need audience.
But by the way, Casey, this works really well for a podcast.
I know.
No.
Very helpful.
Nose goes.
Yeah, touching your finger to your nose helps immensely.
No, not me. No.
Now, if you went 1, 2, 3, not it.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Not it. No.
All right. Well,
What would you like the note to say?
we'll start it off with Lady Vajra Blackstaff. I am Thurander Valquendis. I and my group of friends have come into a interesting situation after leaving the peninsula of Cholt. It has been brought to our attention that you may possibly have skills or the information needed to deal with this delicate subject that has to do with phylacteries. We were wondering if we could have a audience at your soonest convenience to discuss these matters, either in person or via message. Thank you in advance for your consideration and your time. Thurander Valquendis.
Understood. I'm assuming that's going to wrap it up. The bird, or the piece of paper begins. It's almost like an origami folding of itself. It lifts up and starts fluttering above the crate.
I'll go run and open a window.
And as soon as you open that window, out the window it goes, out into the night of the darkness. What I would like from you, good sir, is a persuasion roll.
What?
Yes. How persuasive was your letter that you wrote to Vajra?
It's pretty persuasive as far as how it sounded, but according to my skill, it's not. It doesn't sound anything like my skill says. It would have said, "Please send help now." According to my perception skill.
Not perception, persuasion.
Or persuasion, I mean. My note would have said, "In dire straits, please need help. You don't know me, I don't know you, but please come help now." Bring a sandwich.
Bring a sandwich.
16.
Nice. Okay. Bring a sandwich.
Bring a sandwich.
Jeez.
I hope she brings you a sandwich.
I'm
just saying, man. I'm adding +1 to persuade. I'm not a persuasive guy.
A +1 is not bad.
What?
It's not great, but it's not bad.
Where's the bard at when you need it? Well, like if I could have rolled stealth, that would have been better. +13.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculously cool. be a lot cooler if you did.
Alright.
I guess we'll leave the window kind of ajar, just in case we're lucky enough to actually get message sent back. And then I also recommend that even though we're in the city and supposedly somewhat safe, that if somebody wants to maybe stay a watch for the first 4 hours of the night while I meditate, and then once my meditation's up, I'll cover the rest of the evening so you guys can get your full 8 hours of rest. I just don't think it would be a good idea for all of us to sleep. We might not wake up.
Yeah, I could do that.
Understood. The rest of the evening goes by uneventful, and everybody who needed an opportunity to get a long rest does. All of your spell slots should be returned, and your hit points should be at full.
Wow. It's like a brand new start.
And as you are waking up, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as one does.
Who does that?
Depending on how many cups of coffee I do. As you make your break fast, a piece of paper flutters through the window, landing on the crate right in front of the Rander.
I'll go over and pick it up. Or does it unfold before I pick it up?
As soon as you touch it, it begins unfolding.
Okay.
It says, from Vajra Blackstaff. At the very least, I am intrigued. If it is an audience you wish, you may come to the Blackstaff Tower. Two bells before high noon.
Well, it says she's extended an audience. 2 bells before noon, we have to arrive at the tower. So I suggest we grab a bite to eat, and I don't know where this tower is, but I think there's carriages that'll take us there. So go ahead and get some food in you, and let's get ready to head out for the day.
You guys break fast. Wow. And head out to one of the major streets that
You see what he's doing there?
runs up,
Get it?
up to the dock.
You get the joke? You guys get that? It's pretty slick, ain't it? I liked it. That's why I'm emphasizing it. Because you never think about breakfast being breaking your fast because you've been sleeping all fucking night, you lazy bastard. It's just legit.
That's what it means, is breaking your fast.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Son of a...
Dude, it was cool, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Threw me off my groove, though.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. You make your way out of the dock ward towards one of the major avenues through the city of Waterdeep, hailing a coach, a horse-drawn coach. This is being your first foray into the City of Splendors. Good day to you, my lords. By all means, hop on in. It's just a mere 2 silver. Where is it that you'd like to go?
I believe the Blackstaff's tower is our destination.
Oh. Important gentlemen, are we?
I wouldn't say that. Just have some business.
Oh, business it is, my good lords. Lords, is it? Must be lords going to the Blackstaff Tower.
Now, buddy, I've been accused of many things, but nobody's ever called me no lord before. Just kidding, I don't say it like that. I'm like, no. We're just People like yourself, friend. Here's your 2 silver.
It is business,
Yes.
not tourists.
No.
All right, well, y'all hop on in, and I think I already screwed up the accent.
No,
You
it's
threw
fine.
me off with whatever the hell it was you were doing.
I don't know, dude.
Son of a...
Struck me funny, I guess.
Hop on in, my lords. I will get you there in nothing but a click or 2. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop.
Very well. So, like, I don't know if you... Just to give you a heads up, like, normally when my dude, he's kind of a dick, he's kind of cold, but when he tries to keep a low profile, he tries not to draw attention to himself by putting that... The less people remember him from their interactions, the better. More people are more likely to remember somebody who's a dickhead than somebody who actually treats them decent. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I do. I understand what you're saying.
The assholes stand out more in your mind every day because, like, you can go through your whole day and everybody could be the nicest to you that you've ever had all day, and one person shit in your cereal, and that's the one person you remember all day. So I'm keeping a low profile by pretending like I'm a very nice, pleasant elf.
You...
Sorry. I mean, I don't know. Was that too much?
No, it was spot on. I understand. You got your point across very well. You didn't leave a lot of room for misinterpretation, I believe.
Well, you know.
You do bring up, though, an interesting opportunity for a potential game mechanic. Like it's from a role playing standpoint, it's legit.
Thank you.
So, but as the DM, I have to kind of arbitrate from the standpoint of, are you successful in doing what it is you're wanting to do?
I see what you mean. So basically, since this is kind of sort of out of my realm of how my character normally acts, it would be almost like a deception or something.
I'm thinking a deception roll is actually what I'm leaning towards.
Son of a...
How deceptive are you in being so common that it's hard to remember who you were? Give me it now. That doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen elsewhere, but if somebody were to ask him later on if you're successful, he'd be like, yeah, I remember picking up 3 people, or maybe I picked up 4, but I can't really, here's a description of 3 and I can't remember what the other. It's like, he was 5'9", and I don't remember what color. Well, he was wearing all black.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was kind of thinking about. I mean, being dressed in black is really cool and everything, but I'm almost thinking I might have to actually change it up a little bit and kind of blend in. Because, I mean, do I really need to be that guy? Do I have to be the stereotypical rogue that's dressed in all black all the time? I mean, how sneaky is that? Hey guys, I'm the guy inconspicuously dressed in pure black, carrying a rapier and a dagger. Guess what I don't do?
Make candles?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I've been putting some thought into changing up the way I...
There's no reason why you couldn't have a change of clothes.
I'm adding +5 to the dice, and I rolled a natural 1.
Ooh, nat 1.
He's really gonna remember who you are.
All right, thank you very much.
So maybe when I'm trying to smile, my smile is like
Dashing?
like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to be friendly,
Like
and
you're
I'm just
constipated.
I'm just like
Why you gotta be so awkward, buddy?
2 silver is all it's gonna be, right?
Angrily constipated. That's
Oh my goodness gracious, awesome.
I don't know. I mean, I rolled a natural 1. It
It's
can't be.
fucking awkward, buddy.
Can't, yeah, exactly. Kind of like the server today at the restaurant.
Oh god, yeah, jeez. Yeah.
We
how
totally remembered that guy.
Yeah, as
He
soon as
rolled
you
a
walk up to the
natural
table,
1.
yeah, it's like a natural 1. Like, goddamn, that guy again.
See what I'm saying?
I didn't even recognize him until he started talking, and then I knew exactly.
Exactly.
Like, oh,
yeah. You're like, please go away, dude.
Yep, that's what you just did.
I know.
Awesome.
No, it's not, man. I rolled a 1. That sucked. All right, so I failed at that. Maybe I won't talk anymore. Just kidding.
Well, so here's the thing, though. From a role-playing standpoint, you're gold. You don't know you botched it.
Yeah, that's true. He's just like this. Okay. Pop him back, it's fine. Oh, God.
You broke it.
Well, it's just, when you hear that stuff and you get the descriptions and stuff, you see it in your head and you're just like, oh, God, really? Did I just do that? Yeah, the edgelord just did that.
Yep. Mr. Inconspicuous just went fucking full awkward. Why you gotta be so awkward, buddy?
I don't know, man. I guess I don't interact well socially sometimes.
It's all that time in Cholt.
Yeah. Luckily for the headphones, I won't be orangutan slapping myself on the head.
I was laughing so hard.
I can't really speak for your character's background, but as you make your way through Waterdeep, it truly is the City of Splendors. It is one of the most largest cities on the face of Faerun, and there is a lot of people who live here. Now, the majority of them are human, but there are also other races here and present. And you see that out on the streets as your carriage rattles on down the cobblestone streets. For those of you who have never been in a big city, this place would be like going from the backwoods of Kansas and then their first time going to New York City. Maybe not that dramatic, but you get the point.
Yeah. I mean, how many Baldur's Gates could you fit inside a Waterdeep? A few?
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, because that's where I'm from, is Baldur's Gate.
Oh, yeah, well then, yeah.
But it's still, though, the size of the city still would be impressive.
Baldur's Gate is a little more... you cannot take a carriage ride through Baldur's Gate.
I know.
The streets are very, very narrow. Purposely built, as... It's kind of a douche move on their part. All trade that goes through the city, you have to pay porters to get from one side to the other, and they have to carry it all like on their backs or with hand carts or whatever. A carriage, a cart, a wagon cannot make it through the city, and so it also gives them an opportunity to make sure they're taxing the shit out of all those trades and goods that go through. Where Waterdeep is a little bit larger, so are the streets. Some of these avenues are so large that multiple carriages can go, it's almost like a four lanes of traffic in some places. And you also have pedestrians. The streets are bustling. There's a lot of people out in the streets, either going about their day-to-day business or buskering is also something that would be kind of unique to the City of Splendors. People out there juggling for money, or a puppet show around one corner. That being said, you can also see the occasional mugging as you're driving through the streets. Depending on what gang owns what corner of the street, there's also drug dealing.
When I see that, I just shake my head and think to myself, amateurs.
Amateurs.
Because if I could see it, they're not doing it very right or good.
That being said, you make your way to... it's kind of towards the center of Waterdeep, near the base of Mount Waterdeep, near the castle of Waterdeep. Not exactly right next to it, but in the general area. It does... This tower, it's not that it's massive, like some huge, massive construct, but it does kind of stick out like a black thumb. It's dark, it's foreboding, but it also has this sense, this feeling. Without casting the spell Detect Magic, you can almost sense its power emanating from it. All right, my lords. This be your place. You may exit the vehicle. No tip necessary.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Just kidding, I don't do that.
As we walk out of there, I looked at him and I was like, you need to work on that just a little bit.
As he's riding away, you can hear him talking to his horse. Why is that guy so fucking awkward?
Work on what? I don't know what I did. I was nice, wasn't I? I thought I was being pleasant. Isn't that how you do that? Alright, fine, I'll work on it.
Thank you.
Getting lessons from being pleasant from a barbarian. Okay. Talk about, what would that word be?
A learning,
Tragic times.
a learning moment?
I was thinking more of, what the hell is that? They got those, there's all kinds of sayings and I just can't think of it. When you're being taught something from somebody who you normally wouldn't be taught from, you know? It's like the illiterate teaching somebody how to read. You know what I'm saying? Although not like I'm trying to berate the barbarian, it's just when you think of barbarians and the way he plays Geth.
Uncouth.
Well, I'm not saying that in the way that I'm polite when I can. Don't forget, I was raised by wolves.
So your smile looks exactly like how he was smiling. Everyone who smiles here is just like.
It is true.
I just can't see myself, so I don't know that I need to work on it. I'm doing the same thing as that. I'm like. Yeah, I was raised by wolves, so.
Gets over there chewing on his bottom lip.
I forgot about that was part of his background when he rolled that character up. I was like, really? You sure you want to do it? He's like, yeah, I want to be raised by wolves. I was like, all right, dude. That's kind of cool. Different.
Yeah, because I made my backstory line up the whole way. Like, if you read it, didn't prescribe it, but it was like, my clan died when I was young. I take pride from that clan. I was raised by wolves. Like, I had a whole thing set up.
Yeah, good times. You find yourself standing outside of the Black Tower as you walk around the outside. And you continue to walk, and you continue to walk, and you continue to walk. You think you are now standing right back where you were dropped off. You don't remember seeing a door as you walk to the circumference of the tower.
So, how do you get into this place? I would call that pretty anti-theft deterrent. No doors. Is there windows?
Yes. High up, nothing on the ground level. There are windows.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I'll look up and clasp my hands around my mouth and hello.
Could always climb
As he
up
says
there.
that, what you didn't realize is that there was a murder of ravens kind of camped out on top of the tower. And as he yells up, it's almost like it startles them, and then you see all these ravens like burst out, flying across the sky overhead.
I cover my head up.
They don't come down.
Well, I don't want to get
They
shit
like
on.
disperse across the city.
Birds tend to poop when they take
No
off.
poopy on head.
No, got it.
They just hold it. They're like, oh, here we go.
Target practice.
Yeah,
He's like,
exactly. Exactly, man. It's dangerous, dude. Birds.
Just a volley of attacks.
Wow, buddy.
Well, you never know, man.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah. Getting bird poo on your head is never
It's not a good time.
No, not fun.
Some of them have good aim. I've seen it. Thankfully, I've never been a victim, but I've seen it hit somebody, and I was just like, oh. I was like, dude, you gotta go home, bro. You gotta go change, man. You can't be... Don't stay here, man. Go home. I don't want to be looking at that all day. I'm gonna lose my lunch, bro. What is that, like half an earthworm or something?
That fucking bird just lost his guts on your fucking shoulder, son.
Oh my gosh.
Real Keegan again.
Well, that's the thing, though, man. Unfortunately, that's about what it looks like, dude. It's horrible. That's why I don't want to get into my beautiful elven hair.
So are all the ravens gone?
Yes.
Take it.
Okay.
Yes.
I did that for dramatic effect. Only.
Right.
And it worked, obviously.
Yes, it did.
Maybe go up to like the wall and just kind of like touch it. Be all use
Perception
perception.
or investigate.
Yeah.
Oh. All of a sudden, Miss Bubbinsworth just, come on, just vanishes.
What are you rolling for?
Pretty much to see if there's anything there that I just can't see, like touching. Even though I'm not no trap detector or
Well,
I'm
roll
looking for
investigate.
roll investigate.
Yes, please.
traps. We know how to get in because we have other characters, but that takes the fun away.
21.
21.
Yes.
As you and the rest of you see this as Mr. Bubbinsworth makes his way around the circumference of the tower. Just as he gets out of your view, as he rounds one of the corners, you can almost swear like you see, like he disappears, like he falls forward and then is gone from view.
Okay.
I think I found what you're looking for.
I guess go over to this section where Mr. Bubbinsworth was and have a look and see if there's a noticeable entry point.
You do not see anything, no.
It. Just so you know, this is really hard. Trying to pretend like I don't know how to get in here. It's painful.
Yeah.
I touch the wall to see if there's like a door button or something that he may have pushed on.
Roll me and investigate.
Uh, 15.
As Thorander is feeling, touching, smoothing his hand across the surface, just as he rounds the corner and disappears almost from view, you get the impression that he literally disappears from view, like he fell. It's like that back heel as it kicks up unexpectedly.
Found it. Or more like.
I guess I'll follow up.
Roll me investigate, please. You can go ahead and do that too, sir.
20.
Mr. Brubane. Same thing happens to you. You all find yourself standing inside of a space that is much larger on the inside than it is on the outside. You are looking up this massive cylindric room. And there's many levels above you. You see railings upon railings and floating staircases constantly moving. And up on those railings behind them are whole entire levels like a library. You can see books almost as they float through the air, like they're trying to find their way through a labyrinth of bookshelves. They'll make their way down to a particular bookshelf and actually sort themselves out. And as they do that, other books from other bookshelves get pulled out and float through the air, maybe landing on a table or some kind of lectern where it will then open. As this it's a dark, heavy wood, a lot of darker colors for carpet and tapestries, a lot of reds, but there's also hundreds and thousands of strange objects. It's not just all books and bookshelves. There's small statues or globes, maps, scrolls. things like treasure that are kept in glass cases, paintings, etc. It's very, I don't know if lavish is the right word, but obviously this is a collection for the ages, and it's not just books, it's all kinds of items in addition to books. And as you're standing there staring up this massive cylindric tower inside of a tower, mouths agape, you are approached by one of, and it's not the only one you see individuals moving about these various levels or walking across some of these floating staircases, but one does approach you. This particular individual is a female, elven, brownish auburn hair, and she's wearing kind of like a pink, purplish, flowing, not see-through, but like gossamer kind of gown. Very light and feathery. Well, hello there.
Greetings.
Greetings. And you might be?
I am Tharander Velquendis, and these are my friends, Brubane, Mr. Bubbinsworth, and Geth. We were invited by the Lady Vajra Blackstaff for an audience. We are responding to her invitation.
I see. Well, myself, my name is Brindis. I am one of Vajra's apprentices. I do believe she is expecting you. Something to do with a phylactery.
Yes, I didn't realize that would be common knowledge.
Well, I was told to expect you. Specifically.
Forgive me, it's just the nature of the information is somewhat sensitive. And I'm sure she'll understand after the audience.
Well, you are early. Would you like to, or would you care to have a seat? Maybe I can bring you refreshment?
What time of day is it? It's, what, a little bit after breakfast?
Yes.
Well, I know water's not really a thing, but I'll have I would be interested in a glass of wine.
Very well. Anything in particular? Dealer's choice?
Whatever you recommend, I'm sure would be fine.
And your friends?
Surprise me.
I will try my best.
I guess also a very dark reddish wine.
Whoa. And you, good dwarf?
Are you a vampire? I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
I want a glass of blood, please.
I don't want to take blood, but I'll take ale.
Very well. You may seat yourselves over here in the study. Make yourself comfortable. I will be only but a moment.
Thank you.
And she's only gone for a little bit. She does direct you to it's not like it's a side room, but it's like a side area. It's kind of like if you were to go to the Tattered Cover and you're amongst the bookshelves. They may have areas where there's like a coffee table and soft couches and chairs, and that's kind of the area that she leads you over to. She's only gone for a short while, brings back some drinks as you requested, and you find yourselves sitting in this magical, unbelievable, over-the-top kind of tower. By about the time you're getting down to the dreg and spit that's left within your drink, you see a figure
Bless you.
walking towards you.
Was that a sneeze?
No, it's okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was. My bad.
This is a picture of Vajra Blackstaff. She's definitely dressed like a noble of Waterdeep. Right up and including the little bit of like white frill at the top of her collar. The vestment that she's wearing has got a kind of like blue and gold trim, but over it she's wearing a almost like a traveling like a trench coat made of a light brown leather with also some gold trim and black buttons. She carries in her hand an impressive, very artistic black staff. This is what she looks like. I am looking for an individual who goes by the name of Therander. Would one of you be this gentleman?
When she walks in the room, I'll stand up, and after she addresses us, I'll give her a bow. Greetings, Lady Vajra Blackstaff. I am Therander Velquendis. I am the one who sent you the letter. These are my friends, Brewbane, Mr. Bubbinsworth, and Geth. They share the same troubles that I shared, which is why we are here.
Well, sit. Make yourselves comfortable. Start at the beginning and tell me of this problem.
Well, I will give you a summed up version of what happened. We were in Cholt. We were doing a specific mission. I won't bore you with the details. But we ended up facing off against the Lich that, well, not a Lich, but the Lich of name Asarak. I don't know if you're familiar with that name.
I am, in fact, familiar with that name.
Through some misguided luck, we were able to defeat him, which we knew was temporary. Because
you were not able to destroy its phylactery.
Correct. In our haste to get out with what we could get out with, unfortunately, we brought back with us 26 phylacteries of other liches. We were told that along with these phylacteries, there's a curse. And we, at one point, we've been assaulted twice now by agents of these liches, and we've tried to dispose of the phylacteries, just get them away from us. For instance, we actually, on the voyage back from Cholt, we threw them into the sea. And when we arrived at our destination, a few hours later, they were all sitting in the area where we were residing. The problem we have is obviously these liches want their phylacteries back, but
you can't get rid of them.
Correct.
And they can't take them from you.
Without killing us, from what I understand. Now, the reason why we came seeking your help is we're not here asking you to fight the liches for us or anything like that, but we did find out that there's a particular lich whose phylactery was only able to be destroyed by Kelvin Blackstaff, and we were told that the Blackstaff is the key to the destruction of this phylactery.
Could you be more specific? Is there something about this phylactery that you could tell me about it?
I believe that the god Merkel has blessed this phylactery himself. When Kelvin destroyed the phylactery, I believe Merkel himself interceded and reformed it so that this lich, Nyrus Dehotek, would not be able to be destroyed. We were searching for information to... basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to destroy the phylactery so that if we run into the lich and destroy the liches, I guess, our end game is to try to find a way to the demiplane that Asarak is so that we can actually stop him. Because we don't, from what we understand, he is no longer on this plane. He is retreated to his demiplane, or maybe he's being reformed in that demiplane. Maybe that's where his phylactery is kept. But until that time, the information that we were given was that we should start dealing with these individual phylacteries, although I personally have a feeling after facing Asarak that some of these phylacteries, some of these liches are far beyond what we're capable of dealing with, and we're also having second thoughts about dealing with Asarak. As I said, the way we were able to defeat him was, I would say, sheer luck. I'll give a recount of how we survived that encounter. I mean, if you want me to detail it, I'll detail it, but I'm not.
My interest is piqued.
Basically, when we reached the I guess what would you call it, the antechamber of the Lich himself, it was in the bottom of a volcano, or there was at least lava there. It was inactive to a certain degree because it wasn't bubbling out or rumbling or anything like that, but before combat had even started, I had decided it would be a good idea to flank, and because that's my style of combat, look for an advantage. Unfortunately, my friends here, a couple of the other members that were in that party are still in Cholt overseeing some other things, but Asarak was actually able to stop time completely, and luckily for me, I was not in the area of the spell, so I was able to evade all the damage that came in, and I believe it was fireballs, and it wasn't just one, it was multiples, and he literally destroyed my party, and then time went back to normal. During that time, I was able to run alongside the wall and grab him and push him into the lava. Well, I grabbed him and we both jumped into the lava, but I have an item that I use that allowed me to dimension door. And I actually, luckily for me, he had exhausted a lot of his strength during that combat phase where he attacked my companions with his spells, that I think he was a slight bit, I wouldn't say winded, but he wasn't able to act when I grabbed him and carried him into the lava. I then dimension doored out of it, and he went into the lava, which we knew would destroy his physical form, but without the phylactery being destroyed, we knew he would not stay dead from that. And unfortunately, we have a feeling that not just these 26 liches, but he himself may be looking for a bit of retribution for that. And the tragic thing of this whole story is, when we left there, all we brought were these phylacteries and no riches.
Well, let's go back to the phylactery in question. If I understood your description, your story correctly, what I believe you are talking about is an item known as the Crown of Horns.
Yes.
I am in an interesting position, as I have the knowledge and memory of all the Blackstaffs who have come before me. This is why I know what it is that you're talking about. And my predecessor did destroy the Crown of Horns, and he kept the pieces here within the tower. During the time of troubles, when the gods were cast from the heavens and they walked the world with the rest of us mortals, Merkel was able to break into this very tower, steal the broken pieces, and like many of the gods, well, let me back up. He, I believe, remade the Crown of Horns. It is quite a powerful artifact. But in doing so, like many of the gods who were trying to hedge their bets in trying to survive the time of troubles, it is suspected that he left some part of his life force within the item.
Great.
Merkel, like many of the gods, did not survive the time of troubles. However, he may have used that item like a phylactery.
So are you saying that Merkel himself could be inside that item?
He could be inside that item, or he may have figured out a way to have gotten out of that item since then. But that was the purpose. His intent was to use it like a phylactery. I had heard rumor that some individual had come into possession of it and some kind of curse was placed upon them. And the last known whereabouts was Skullport. But that's not what you're here for. Your question is, how do you destroy this phylactery? And that, my friends, is a good question. I could be wrong. We could give it an attempt to use the old ceremony that Kelvin Blackstaff did. But I suspect, based off of the fact that it has been changed in some way, shape, or form by a god, that we may be at some kind of disadvantage. That being said, I think it might behoove you to talk to another dear friend of mine. His name is Undoth O'Bones. He is a keeper of the crypts in the city of the dead in Waterdeep. He is a cleric, a doom guide, and knight of the Eternal Order of Kalimvor. After Merkel was killed in the time of troubles, his power, his sphere of influence was given over or taken over by Kalimvor. And Kalimvor is now the god of the dead. And as a god and as gods go, he's a little more understanding. I don't know if I would say good, but a little less more help. He's more helpful as far as gods of the dead comes and goes. He tries to find balance to make sure that those who are dead and their souls are treated fairly. Where Merkel was just more bring it on, bring me souls. I believe that clergy would be in a prime position to figure out a way to help you fight, possibly destroy this phylactery with Merkel's taint, because it would behoove them. It would behoove Kalimvor to make sure that Merkel was not in a position where he could reclaim his position. Does that make sense?
Yes. Is there any other way to break the curse besides destroying Asarak?
There might be. One could possibly gain the intervention of a god. There's also the power of a wish spell. I assume you've tried speaking to someone in a clergy with the ability to remove curse?
Not yet. We haven't really been here that long. I mean, our first trip we went into Undermountain, and actually That's how we found the information about Nyristahotep's phylactery, and that's how we found out about how it linked to the Blackstaff.
I only mention is the chances of it working. I mean, it's just an attempt to try all avenues. I have to assume that someone as powerful as Asarak, a simple and quaint remove curse spell probably wouldn't work.
I mean, would it be necessary for us to destroy any of these liches just to get to him? Or, I mean, we do have another lead, but unfortunately it deals with another lich, and liches aren't necessarily forthcoming, nor do they really want to be bothered by mortals, I guess you could call us.
I can only make some assumptions, not fully understanding all that is involved with this particular curse. I can guess that it's possible that you might be able to break the curse if you are able to kill Asarak, or somehow find a way to get him to remove the curse himself.
I don't think he's going to do that.
Well, you'd be surprised what somebody would do if you have enough leverage. However, at this point, I don't know what kind of leverage you would have.
Yeah. Well, we don't have anything of his other than the phylacteries that were in his chamber. And as powerful as some of these liches are, I mean, he probably doesn't really worry too much. I mean, even if we did destroy a few of them or whatever, it's not like he couldn't put others under his thrall, I suppose. I mean, from what I understand, one of these phylacteries belongs to the Lich Queen of the Githyanki. Is it the Githyanki or the Githzeri?
Githyanki, you are correct. You don't say.
Oh, we got...
You have a phylactery for a Githyanki Lich Queen.
Yes.
You really have painted yourself into quite the corner, haven't you?
Not on purpose. I'm not much of an artist, as you can tell. And with the intricacies of some of these phylacteries, I could assume that that's probably not the worst of the... Well, it could be the worst, it could not. It might not be. But all I know is we have 26 of these items sitting in the warehouse where we're staying, and if we stay gone too long, they'll find out where we are and they'll be there when we wake up. If it's something you would be interested in looking at, by all means come on by and have a look. Maybe you have some insight on some of these, or maybe we could put names to some of these phylacteries so that we have targets, or we can try to dig for more information. At one point, we're also exercising the possibilities of maybe finding some of these liches who aren't too keen on Asarak holding them hostage with their phylacteries, and seeing if maybe we can get some type of an alliance with them, maybe even to the point of them not trying to attack us to get their phylactery back. In return, we don't find the means to destroy it and try to destroy them. I personally want nothing to do with liches, and I would be more than happy to just wash my hands of the whole situation, but unfortunately that is not an option. I deal with the living, and once they are dead, somebody else deals with them.
Well, if there's any information I come across that might be of use to you, I'd be more than happy to help. I can also send the word out about your situation. I do have contacts and friends in high places. Who knows? Maybe even one or two powerful mages willing to give a wish a shot.
That would be very kind of you. And should you require anything in return for this aid, all you have to do is just ask. We're not hard to find. Well, to those we don't.
You're not
want
all planning on staying here in Waterdeep, are you?
Not really. we understand that no matter where we go, the trouble's going to follow us, and right now we're trying to keep a low profile till we can get enough information and some leads that we can start moving forward to hopefully get this curse removed. I would be fine leaving Asarak alone altogether. I was just happy to survive with my life. If I could give all 26 of them back to him with no repercussions and maybe a slap on the hand, I would be more than happy to do that. But I don't think somebody as powerful as him or with his reputation would be keen on such an idea. The fact that we attempted murder and stole his property is probably enough for somebody in his position to have no need to negotiate with our persons. So I don't see any type of negotiation like that being able to bear any type of fruit, that's for sure.
I assume that when you ran into this Asarak individual, it was quite by accident?
Yes, we were actually, to be honest, we were there to destroy, what was it called again? The
Soulmonger.
The Soulmonger, which we did.
I'm sorry. Did you say the Soulmonger?
Yeah, the item that was keeping people who were being resurrected from staying alive. It was draining their souls back into the... He was trying to create an undead god, I believe.
Whoa. Slow down. Back the truck up just a little bit. I'm sorry, back the carriage up just a little bit.
What's a truck?
What's a truck?
The carriage.
Back the duck up just a second.
I honestly didn't realize what we accomplished there and how kind of a big deal that is now that I'm thinking about it.
So you're saying that Asarak had an item known as the Soulmonger, and that it was draining the life out of people who had been resurrected, and he was doing it for the purpose of trying to create a what now?
I believe an undead god. Or maybe he was trying to ascend to undead godhood. It had something to do with that.
You did that. You destroyed the Soulmonger.
We did.
You all did that.
Except that one.
He wasn't around yet.
For you.
I'm new to the group.
So the three of you.
Well, we had a couple of other friends that are not with us right now. They are overseeing some business opportunities that we had in Cholt.
How lucky for them not to be here under these circumstances.
Yeah. This is quite lucky.
I need you to make a persuasion roll.
What?
Now, dude.
Does she not believe them?
I don't even have any inspiration. Uh, 11.
It's not that I don't believe you. Your story does seem quite far-fetched. It's a hard. And where was this? You said Cholt?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to take you at face value.
Well, I mean, with you being as powerful as you are, I'm sure you have magic to see if I'm lying or
Fair enough.
Or I'm sure I'd be willing to subject myself to a divination or a zone of truth or any of those items. I mean, or scrying or anything like that. I have no reason to come this far to make up a story like that.
Roll persuasion.
Oh shit! Again? Maybe I should use the cheater dice.
You should use your cheater die.
Nope. It was even worse. 5.
You picked the wrong die. Since you offered, Thrander, if you will step over here and come close.
Okay.
I want you to close your eyes and relax. And as he does that, you can see that she begins to cast and weave a spell. She speaks an arcane, verbal casting of a spell. And much like a Vulcan mind meld, she puts her hand up against the side of your head. Tell me again why you were in Cholt. Tell me again about the Soulmonger.
Tell her pretty much exactly the same thing, or do you want me to?
No, you don't have to
Okay.
go. That's fair enough.
I'll pretty much say
That
exactly.
was a lot.
Yeah.
Let's be redundant.
I'll go over to the same thing
Let's
again.
be redundant.
Huh?
Let's be redundant. Wow. As you, and you don't see it because your eyes are closed, but as he retells the story again, you can see at first not a whole lot of reaction from her, but as he continues, her head starts to nod up and down in understanding. And after a couple of moments, as you retell this, she finally breaks the spell. It's not like you were controlled. You didn't feel like you were being controlled or that you were under any spell. The information that she obtained and what she did was pretty much one way from you to her. But as you finish and she removes her hand and your eyes open, you can see that she's wide-eyed, almost jaw agape, as the realization of what you're saying and its truth becomes clear to her. Well, I would not have believed it if I had not seen it with my own eyes in your mind. What you and your friends accomplished is huge. And you saved countless lives. Isn't it sad that you find yourselves in this horrible situation, this curse, and nobody knows who the heroes of the story is?
It's so truthful.
Son of a gun, I swear. Is it like they're doing it intentional?
I don't know.
Freaking jackwagon.
It is quite ironic, actually.
Quite ironic that you have found yourself in this situation after all that you've done and accomplished.
And the fact that nobody knows, I think you're the first person who actually knows what we did, besides ourselves. And the people whose souls were being sucked away, I don't know if they even know. They know it stopped, so if the one person that my friends went to help survived, then I believe that person would know that the mission was a success.
Well, if you haven't heard this from anybody else, let me be the first to say thank you. Let me shake each of your hands. And she does. She reaches out to each of you and tries to shake your hand, including Gross.
You started it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Brubane's trying to give Vajra the hand tickler.
What the?
Her hand is jerked back immediately. What the? Oh my goodness. With this understanding, I this newfound knowledge, and might I add, a great deal of respect for you and what you've done. I may be able to help pull some more weight for you. I do know some very powerful individuals who also are, I'm going to guess, to be quite surprised by the information that you've just provided to me. In the meantime, I still suggest that you reach out to
Undoth
Obones. Maybe he can help you deal with this crown of horns in the short term.
I'm still just trying to figure out if it's worth the risk of trying to destroy liches versus just trying to find a way to get to Asarak and end it. One of these other liches might be the end of us before we even get an opportunity to face Asarak.
Do you have any idea as to where Asarak might be?
All we know is he's on some other plane, but we did recently receive information that there's a lich that resides in the Sunset Mountains in a monastery who might have information on his whereabouts and how to get there for mortals. I think it's a negative energy plane, unfortunately.
That could pose a serious problem. Unless you have some kind of special skill or items, your chances of surviving in such a place is going to be extremely difficult. Which I'm guessing as to why he set up his as he's where he is for that very reason. Of course, if you were undead, your chances of being able to survive in that environment probably are greatly increased.
Stop nodding your head.
It could be accomplished.
You first.
Though I use the term surviving loosely, because you're already dead.
Huh? I'm getting on.
Huh?
I think I like remaining alive.
I second that.
Third.
I've seen what they look like after they've decomposed for a while, even though they're still walking around. It's not pleasant. People think I'm socially awkward now.
Flesh. Hungry for flesh.
Let me show you something.
Damn, why are you so awkward? Well, if there's anything I can think of that might be able to help you find your way to and survive the negative material plane, I would be more than happy to help you. I do have here at my disposal a vast library of information. So if there's anything particular or specific that you are looking for, there's a good chance that that information resides here. If it is not here, I'm aware of other places such as Candle Keep that also has a great deal of information.
I'm trying to remember if... Didn't our adventure in Cholt start in Candle? Or where did it start at? Where did we actually take the ship to Cholt?
That was from Boulder's Gate.
Oh, okay.
You did go to Candle Keep in the adventure for Descent into Avernus.
Yeah, that seems to be a good place to do research when you're trying to go to another plane of existence, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just the DM.
Those Candle Keepians.
Candle Keepians.
They just got all that forbidden knowledge. It seems like we have a lot of options. It's just the trick is figuring out which one's going to be the best for our survivability. Because that's the goal, is to stay alive and come out of this alive. Saturday Night Fever.
Staying alive, son.
Wow. I'm trying to think if there's... I don't think there's anything else. I don't know, should we head back to the warehouse and hang out for a little bit and see if Mr. Bubbinsworth's friend comes through with some information, or...
Remind me, what was Baron, what information you were looking for?
He was going to try to find out which liches belong to the Twilight Cabal. That way we know to try to stay away from those ones. I don't know. Even trying to approach the ones that aren't part of the Twilight Cabal, they're still liches. And if they know we have their phylactery, there's nothing that's going to stop them possibly from wanting it back, knowing that if they just killed us right there on the spot, that they can probably. But that's the thing, though. Even if they get it back, Azarak has it. So getting it back is still like a double-edged sword for him. Yeah, they get it back, but then when he comes back from the or not the demi-plane, but the plane of negative energy, and says, hey, those items that were taken from me, I know you killed those people and got them back, but remember who the boss is, so I'll go ahead and just take those back. Thank you. So they're back in the same situation they were in the first place. Because I'm willing to bet that some of those weren't given up freely. I'm pretty much sure that he pressed them into service. Because that's what supreme evil beings do. I mean, when you can stop time and blast somebody into oblivion, I mean, who's going to say no?
He's traumatized by that. How many times are you going to bring it? Stop time and fucking blast me out of existence. Traumatized.
I'm like that veteran of the old war, man. I seen some shit.
He also got a tick.
Wasn't pretty.
Whenever somebody says stopping time,
Someone mentions time.
I'm just killing time. What'd you say? Did you ever fucking say time around me, motherfucker?
I got you like a fish.
We don't say that word.
Just kill it time.
So at this point, I think if you want to go back to the warehouse, I'm okay with that. If not, I mean, we can do... What was his name?
Rundoth Obones.
Oh yeah, that's right. We should probably go.
He probably seems like the safest because he doesn't sound like he's a lich.
No, he said he was. She said he was a cleric.
Yeah, cleric. Huh?
So, and who knows? Maybe he's strong enough in his faith that he can maybe commune with his god. And I mean, talking to the god of death about liches and phylacteries might be helpful.
Yeah, I think talking with him and just seeing if we could get this one phylactery kind of like set and everything like that. At least, you know, I feel like we're going somewhere. We have that goal. Out of 26 of these stupid things.
That's the thing that sucks, though, is it's like we get
I hate liches now. Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.
If we manage to get rid of one lich, it's like you're starting out at the bottom of a mountain.
There's only one way to eat an elephant.
But then again, that's also pitting a bigger target on our back.
One bite at a time.
That's a lot to chew on.
Yes, it is.
Shit sandwich.
I'm pretty sure the meat's going to be rotten by the time you, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, it's totally a shit sandwich.
This is. I hope you're hungry. It's extra shitty.
Stop it, lady. You're scaring me.
Did you eat corn?
Oh, jeez, man. No.
I thought I was the one that's supposed to cross over.
Wow. Extra shitty, smothered in shit, just the way you like it.
Extra shitty, even better.
Somebody lost their guts between two slices of bread.
You thought the bird shit was bad, but guess what?
So yeah, go and talking with the cleric, because I imagine it's probably going to take a little bit of time to figure out
Oh, yeah.
which liches are part of that.
But even then, at the same time, staying in one spot for too long makes it easier for the...
I imagine they'll find us no matter where we're at.
the minions are going to come for us.
Yeah, and it could be out of the damn blue. It doesn't. I don't think it matters to them, because the creatures that we've fought so far, I mean, they're not your typical human or anything like that. They're freaking evil as hell.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.
Just turtle up, bud. Get ready for the long haul.
I'm actually starting to think maybe we should ask her.
What?
Just another source of, like, if she was able to tell us who was part of the what was it again? Something Cabal?
The Twilight
Cabal.
Well, let's ask her then. We still haven't left yet. We were just kind of
True,
sort of
but I
talking.
didn't really want to kibitz it, but it just came out anyway, because you know.
Yeah. Go for it, man. You come up with stuff, just throw it out there.
Throw it out there.
Jump in that conversation.
Jumping in. How do I want to word it? That's a dwarf wood. Oi! Blackstaff! Oh, I got a question.
Rubane, is it?
Yeah, it is.
By all means, ask your question.
Since you have so many books in here.
Boy.
Yeah, right. I was wondering if you'd be able to tell us which liches are actually part of this Twilight Cabal and which ones aren't.
That is an interesting question.
Granted, we already have someone right there looking into it, but it doesn't hurt to have a little bit more information from somebody else.
I cannot argue with your logic.
Oi.
By all means, I would be more than happy to look into it.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And just to make sure I'm clear, this goal of obtaining information on who is a member of the Twilight Cabal is to help you determine which liches to and not to try to talk to, bend their ear, and gain, I use the term very loosely, an alliance?
Yes.
I mean, either way, when we're dealing with liches, I imagine it's going to be shite. But it doesn't hurt to try.
I cannot fault you for your logic. I will be more than happy to look into it. I do have quite a bit of information here. I also do have some very knowledgeable friends. I can't even wrap my brain around what they do and do not know.
Oh, it hurt.
So it can't hurt to ask them as well. I mean, I will do that for you.
I appreciate it.
Save you a step. Because it sounds like you got a lot of steps ahead of you.
Mm-hmm. 26 of them to be exact.
Maybe
Nice.
27 if we're unlucky.
Yeah.
Oi.
Exactly.
Very well, my good dwarven friend. For you, as one of the heroes, I'm not even really sure what to call you. Savers, heroes of Cholt, destroyers of the Soulmonger. Not even really sure where to wrap my brain around that. I'll work on it.
I don't even think we ever came up with a group name for these guys, did we?
No, we didn't.
We don't really have a group name for anybody except for the Undermountain campaign.
Well, I mean, you guys do want to say Destorian Friends.
Destorian Friends, yeah, that was a group name. It's awesome.
Ay.
Brewbane and Friends.
No.
How about we call our party I Like Eggs?
I like eggs.
I do.
It's a horrible party name.
Oh my god! Look at who it is! It's I like eggs.
That'd be jacked up.
Please sign me.
You got any eggs for us?
You would just get paid in eggs constantly. Thank you, heroes. Here's your eggs. You know, we really like, gold and other things besides eggs.
Blasphemy.
Over easy.
Sunny side up, bitch.
That yoke better be running.
Run that yoke.
Run it.
Feel free to reach out to me at any time. As soon as I obtain any information, I will do my best to get it to you. Let me know if and when you leave the city of Waterdeep and where you're going.
We could probably do that. I got a couple more of those paper birds.
Probably tell her that we're gonna go see Undath. O-Bones. I see the O-Bones. It's the Undath I struggle with.
O''bones.
Whoa. Like O'Miley?
O'Brien.
He makes good potatoes, man.
Yep. Nothing wrong with an O'Brien potato.
Wow. Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you for your time, Lady Vajra, Blackstaff.
How about our group name be the Lich Catchers, since we seem to run into them a lot?
Whatever floats your boat.
Lich Magnet, there we go.
Perfect.
Weirdo.
All right. You all proceed outside. She escorts you.
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
To play on his name that he just said, Lich Magnet, how about we call ourselves Vic Tim?
Vic, Tim, Lich Magnet.
Hey, that's almost like a whole name for a
Victim the
character.
Lich Magnets. Victim the Lich Magnets.
That's messed up.
That's a very hateful, self-hateful name.
PTSD squad.
All right, so you guys proceed out of the tower. She does escort you as she helps you make your way in between a couple of bookcases in such a way that you didn't even expect there to be an exit or a door there. But the next thing you know, as you squeeze between these bookcases, you find yourself standing on the outside of the Black Tower in the bustling streets of Waterdeep.
The hell was that? Huh? I thought it'd be more like honk honk.
I'm driving over here.
Oh,
I'm walking.
Hey, I'm walking over here.
what is there, kobolds?
Tell me about your union.
You get him every time with that, man.
Oh my god.
Those kobolds are pretty awesome.
Yes, they are. Kobolds are awesome. What do you guys want to do? How do you want to do it?
I guess we're gonna, when we leave the tower, we'll hail another carriage when one's is available, and I guess take it to the City of the Dead in Waterdeep.
Very well. For 2 silver pieces on another carriage ride, he will take you from... It's basically a quick drive from the west side of Waterdeep, mid-west side to the mid-east side. Give me 1 second here. I get to use this fancy laser pointer.
About damn time.
Right? Oh, it's so fancy.
Gotta turn it on, it's on the side.
Okay, here we go.
Now you can turn around the other way.
Doing some exorcist moves.
Yeah, you guys are taking all the fun out of this.
like 180.
Okay, so the tower is somewhere in this area. This whole area right here is known as the City of the Dead. It's like a ward unto itself.
It's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, it's unlike going from north to south, east to west is a much shorter distance. Especially since Mount Waterdeep takes up a good chunk of that west side. West side?
Can we break into the Neverwinter Crypt and get some golden dragons?
Negative.
Okay.
Party pooper.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that the Neverwinter Crypt, which is not actually the Neverwinter Crypt.
Or not Never Ember. Right?
Yeah, yes, and it's not even Never Ember. It's whatever that lady's name, her maiden name. I can't remember the maiden name. I'd have to look it up.
Is that what happened already? Is that why Duvall was like, I already know some people that have contacts with Lady Blackstaff, but they're indisposed right now.
Yes. That particular group is either knee-deep in Dragon Heist at this time, or they've just finished it up, and they have made an incredibly daring bet on their survivability of going into Undermountain.
We should go down there and put some money on those guys.
Should you?
Let's bet it all.
Should you?
Again, spending all our gold.
That's right, spending all the gold for the party.
Do you know how much money we got already?
Oh yeah, I know it's more than what we put in the bet.
We could walk away from that bet and be just fine. Unfortunately, if we ever go back into that bar, people would be like, here's the high rollers who couldn't do it. But hey, at least we'd be alive, right?
It's very true. Some of you. Not everybody made it out alive, but that's another story for another day. You guys take the carriage to the city of the undead, and he lets you off at one of the gates. Walking into the city of the undead, or I'm sorry, the city of the dead, not city of undead.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, let's go to the city of undead. No, it's the city of dead. This is not a place where there's like headstones and buried bodies. This is all crypts and tombs.
Mausoleums.
It's a mixture between a park and mausoleums. There are well-maintained paths, green grass, hedges, and trees. Very strangely, this is a place where people come like a trip to the park. And people will be out in a green area, laying out a blanket with a picnic. Kids running around, kicking a ball, or playing with some kind of, I don't know,
skull.
I was going to say hoop and a stick, but sure, kicking around a skull. So it's not like it's empty or devoid of life, but it's also not like hustling and bustling, right? Some people may be uncomfortable hanging out around the mausoleums and whatnot, but in some cases this is one of the few places where while you're still in the city you can kind of stretch out. There's enough room to play in the grass and throw a ball. What do you do? How do you want to do it? It is a big place.
So, this might be a silly question or anything, but since we're coming in at the entrance to the City of the Dead, there doesn't happen to be like any type of directory or a map or anything like that shows where family crypts are, and like, oh, by the way, here's your local cleric of the dead's office where all your funeral and burial needs will be taken care of here.
To answer your question specifically directly, the answer is no. However, indirectly, you do see that there are caretakers, not like an army of them, but as you walk through these areas, it is not unheard of that you would find or see a caretaker, somebody trimming a bush, or somebody picking up trash along one of the pathways, or even clearing up a pathway with a rake or something like that.
Okay. I guess we'll go up to one of the caretakers.
Hey, you there?
Whoa. Yes. How can I help you?
Oh, boy. What was the name of that guy there, button-up skirt?
Bones.
How do you know where he is?
You look for the Doom Guide, correct?
Yes.
He is somewhere over there tending to a family with blessings of a recently deceased uncle.
Oh.
Is he okay? I am okay. I can hear you just quite fine.
Are you?
Well, thank you for your time, friend.
It's my pleasure.
That's socially awkward. Don't ever say I'm socially awkward.
where you are.
You're fucking awkward, guy.
Hey, fuck you.
I mean, go ahead, give us a smile. See?
Wait, let me see.
Children to run away.
I'm just kidding, man. It's not that bad. If I roll a 1, it's that bad, okay?
Oh boy.
It's almost like he knew we were coming here.
Just give me a moment here.
It's like he planned it.
All right, so you make your way through the city of Dead. And as described before, there's several mausoleums and tombs scattered about the grounds. You eventually work your way around in the direction that the groundskeeper gave you, and you come upon a massive, hulking gentleman. He's large to the point of being brutish. He's also wearing full plate mail. He has a huge, massive shield, but what kind of tips you off as distinctive, letting you know that you're heading in the right direction, is emblazoned upon that shield is a skeletal hand holding scales. He has short, cropped hair, almost like a flat top in brown, with a very intense, furrowed brow look on his face. He is standing in front of one of the mausoleums, and appears he's going through some kind of small ceremony blessing the dead that are contained within. And though I know the listeners out there cannot see this, but for the party, here is a picture of what he looks like.
He's a house.
He's built like a goddamn house. Go ahead and place your characters accordingly.
I'm assuming close up to him.
You could assume that correctly. He does not seem to be aware of your presence. He is completely engrossed in his ceremonial process.
Well, I'm not going to interrupt it, so I'll wait until he's done.
Very well. After a few brief moments, he does finish up. Kind of like dusts his hands off like it was some kind of like really hard work or whatever, and he turns around and gives you like this furrowed brow look. How can I help you?
What the heck?
You here for a ceremony?
Good afternoon. Are you Umdath Bones?
I am Umdath Bones. Who might you be?
I am Tharander Velquendus. I'll let you guys introduce yourself so I don't have to keep doing it.
I'm Geth Stronghold.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Gath.
You too.
Mr. Bobbinsworth.
Mr. Bobbinsworth.
You could just call me Brubane.
Brubane. That's quite a name you have there.
Thank you.
We were sent here by Lady Vajra Blackstaff to seek your counsel on a matter of the unlife.
Is there a specific question that you have?
It's about liches. We are, to put it lightly, we are being somewhat dogged by about 26 liches.
You know how to make friends in very dark places.
They're not even the worst of the group. there is one who we believe holds power all of them, because the phylacteries that we now possess, he once possessed. But now there is a curse upon us, and every time we try to rid ourselves of the phylacteries, they just come back. And these liches have been sending their minions to try to recover these phylacteries, but the only way they can do this is by killing us.
You have found yourself in quite a pickle.
Yes, well, in particularly, one of these phylacteries was at one time destroyed by
Kelvin Blackstaff.
Kelvin Blackstaff. I don't know why I forgot how to pronounce his name.
You're fine.
It belonged to a lich by the name of Nyrith the Hotek. And at the time it was reformed by the, from what I understand, who is now dead god by the name of Merkel.
You are saying this phylactery was created by Merkel himself?
I believe it was. I don't know for sure. I know that Merkel, Lady Vajra told us during the time of trouble, Merkel was able to recover the pieces of the phylactery and reform it, and she said it was believed that Merkel had stored some of his own essence inside of the phylactery during the time of trouble when the gods walked the earth. Originally, since the Blackstaff had broken the phylactery, we were hoping that the new Blackstaff would be able to help us, but she feels because Merkel actually had a hand in recreating it, that it has been changed, that the same ritual to destroy it would not work a second time. And she suggested that we come and seek your counsel on this matter.
It sounds like you've got one hell of a situation on your hands.
Yes, you've made that quite clear, my friend.
Thanks for noticing.
It's not a situation we're happy to be in.
As Thrander is describing this situation to Undoth, you notice like this pall, this darkening starts to happen in the sky overhead, where there once was shadow from the sun coming down onto the trees. All shadows seem to slowly disappear as the light source of the sun is obscured. Looking around in a large circle around you, it's almost like, and this is from your perspective, like a massive wall of darkness starts to build around you. The ground starts to shake a little bit beneath your feet. The ground itself kind of rumbles. There we go. I did have it marked. A few of the mausoleum doors crack wide open. Gouts of dark air pour out, low and hanging to the ground. At first, slowly, as it's spewing out of these mausoleums across the ground, occasionally from that dark smoke, you'll see a little bit of bone, kind of like flotsam and jetsam being carried along with a stream in a flood. And they begin to coalesce in an area not far from where you're standing. More and more bones and dark matter moving across the ground like water, meeting in one central spot, gathering together in mass and form, building up larger and larger, until eventually standing before you is a creature that falls into the category of gargantuan. Again, for our listeners, they will not be able to see this, but it is basically a construct of immense size and destructive potential.
Abomination.
It is made of the culmination of many a bone and skeleton all compiled together. It looks very similar to this.
Nice.
That's one terrifying abomination.
Technically, it's a construct.
It's an abomination.
Constructed it. Yep.
What would you all like to do?
They found us. Draw my weapons.
It looks like you brought a friend.
Technically, I would have said that when the sky got dark, but I didn't want to interrupt your description.
I do appreciate that. That's why you're my favorite.
Whoa.
Is there any actions that we could take before? Or do you want us to roll for initiative first?
If there are actions that you would like to take during my description of the coalescing and all that hyperbole, by all means, you may do that.
Okay. So, immediately, Brubane will take out his shield and his warhammer. And at the same time, you will see kind of like a circle of fire. Kind of in the front of Mr. Buttonsworth over here.
Mr. Buttonsworth?
But as you see this, it's like directly right in front of you. And of course, Brubane did do this on purpose. But a form actually jumps out of this circle of fire and gracefully lands on 4 paws and has a distinct shape of a fox.
What size is it?
That is on fire.
Foxfire Force?
So let me give you the look there, remember the page number. That is not the page.
Gross.
Deal with it. It is a small elemental. Gracias. Even though I was going to use my D4, but that's cool.
Whatever works for you. Just trying to help.
Yep.
Was there anything anybody else wanted to do during the description of the of what I was describing?
Abomination.
No, I just draw both my weapons and I go into like a low crouch.
I pull out my maul and I get ready. I pull out my maul and I get ready.
Sounds good.
Pull out my bow.
I need to pull out.
Really?
I know, right? Pull out this character sheet that I made for Undath.
What's his name? Undath Schwarzenegger?
Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Bones.
No.
Oh, Bones.
I guess his middle name.
His middle name is Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger Obones.
Okay. If there's nothing else, I'm assuming that you all plan to try to engage this creature in combat. Mm-hmm. And what I'm going to need from all of you is an initiative. Please.
Oh gosh. Let's see if this alertness feat paid off. Oh, what?
That's a wasted nat 20, by the way.
Good.
Not really, because It literally negates my ability to burst in the first round of combat. I have yet to be able to burst in the first round of combat since we started playing this campaign again.
Well, a nat 20 in initiative actually doesn't mean anything, but...
Oh, not with that roll.
Thrander, what did you get there, buddy?
29.
God damn. Oh, that's right. You picked up that perk because you have +5 on your initiative. Son of a...
I'm adding 10 to my initiative. I rolled a 19.
Ridiculous. Geth?
24.
Mr. Bubbinsworth.
18.
17.
And by the way, if I might add, some pretty cool character names. They're all really good. Even the Brewbait. Not your first name, but the Brewbait parts. So it's going to be Thrander followed by Geth, followed by me, followed by Bubbinsworth, and Brewbane, you'll be going last. Sorry there, buddy.
Why would you be sorry?
Just, it won't matter. Things will play out just fine. Thrander?
How far away is that creature
From you? I'd say 5, 10, 15, about fit. So the reason I pulled out the bigger base is because the creature is actually bigger than what we have there. A gargantuan sized creature is pretty freaking huge, but I don't have something that's that. It's going to be about probably even bigger than that Gatorade bottle.
Holy smokes, and we gotta fight that?
Yeah, I know, right? Your DM's such a jerk.
He is.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of nobody arguing with you.
What the? Alright, so
You're about 15 feet from it currently.
since I'm acting first before it goes, if I tried to flank it and move behind it, I would have to move at a certain way to be out of its reach, or would that provoke an attack of opportunity, or does that only take place after, that's one of the things I've always kind of wondered about moving first before the combat's actually begun. If attack of opportunities are still a thing, so even though it hasn't acted yet, if I go into its threat area, is it going to be able to attack me, or?
So if you were to run up to it, you would be fine.
Well, what I mean is to kind of flank it.
It depends on how you want to flank it.
You probably have to give it somewhat of a wide berth.
Right.
Okay, because
and its reach is going to be about 15 feet.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do... Alright, what you see is... Will you go ahead and put Thrander behind the creature?
Okay.
So you see Thrander, he's got his rapier and his dagger in hand, and all of a sudden he poofs into a black smoke.
Do you want to reword that?
Poof.
Poof. All of a sudden you see an explosion of black smoke and brimstone. And
Fucking Batman.
I am the darkness.
as the smoke clears, you see him reappear behind this construct, and time to go.
Abomination, thank you.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's an
That's right.
abomination.
Keep poking the bear. You're first, by the way.
Let's see.
Just to remind you, you have disadvantage on attacking me.
Here's where it gets fun.
Do I?
You do.
Oh, it's because your shield of
Why do you
displacement.
keep on forgetting this thing? It's one of the best weapons or defenses that I got.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast. How in the flippity flop am I supposed to remember?
I'm pretty
what
sure
your-
there's a vitamin for that, so you should probably start taking it.
Well, if you could remember what that vitamin is. Did you roll? Oh no, it's not even on his cheater die. Nat 20 there, buddy.
But I don't even need it because everything's a critical right now.
Oh, that's
Because I'm gonna say it.
Stinkity.
So let's see what we can do here.
What kind of weapon are you using?
I am using a rapier, the rapier of wounding, which I will not be using the necrotic part of it. I'm just doing the straight damage and using it for its magical properties.
Understood.
So, and I understand this thing being made of bone, that unfortunately this is going to be decent damage, but piercing against bones is not ideal. First round of damage is 32.
32.
Or from the first attack.
Okay.
Second attack is from the dagger.
Okay.
Hit armor class 28.
28 is gonna hit. The target number is 21.
Or an additional 23 damage. Third attack, which will be from the rapier, is going to hit armor class 27. You said that was the...
21 is the target number. The target number is 27. Poop.
Yeah, I think I might poop if that was the target number. Let's see. Yeah, 20 points of damage from that attack. And since this is the first time I get to do it, I am going to spend my action surge to give myself another attack.
God damn.
And the bonus attack due to the offhand. Hit AC 28. Uh, 24 points from that attack. And then the final attack. Hit armor class 23. 4. 5, 22 points, and that's my turn.
Make it more.
Yeah, right.
No.
And unfortunately, I don't think there's. You know what? I'm gonna. Okay, so let me ask you a question. On my to do like the bonus rogue like hide thing. Would I be able to hide behind his leg to where it couldn't see me, or is that pushing it?
That is a good question. The answer in this particular case, I don't believe is yes.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'll be happy with the large amount of damage that I was finally able to burst on.
You did well over 120 points of damage. It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I'm an assassin.
In a round. Yes, you are.
But that's it.
Like what Artemis? What was Artemis's last name?
Artemis Entreni.
Yeah, is that it?
Oh, Entreri?
Entreri, yeah. Artemis Entreri. Yeah, like that level of assassin. That's ridiculous.
That's a pretty high level of assassin.
Yeah, that's pretty high. Geth, followed by me.
Move me up to the guy. I have a moving speed of 80, so just put me up right in front of him. That should give me advantage, right? Since that's behind him.
That is correct. You do have advantage on your attack rolls because he is now flanked.
And I swing 3 times with my maul.
Yeah, he's using bludgeoning.
What kind of weapon are you using?
The maul.
Can you provide me any details about that?
It's just a +1 maul.
Yeah, +1.
+1. Understood. Thank you very much. That is what I needed to know.
Oh. For the first hit, it's 22 to hit.
A 22 will hit. A 21 is your target number.
17 points of damage. On my second hit.
Little bone chips flying off everywhere.
28 to hit.
Hit.
I'm doing... Oh, almost max. 21 points of damage. And then for my third swing, 22 to hit. Doing 14 points of damage. And that is it.
Okay. So in the first round, Thrander magically pops behind the creature, doing an incredible amount of damage, basically getting his weapon in there and cracking bones out of its very essence from its body. And as he's doing that, Geth goes into a rage a blind, frothing anger and runs up with his maul and just starts bashing at this creature, and chunks of bone are cracking and breaking and flying off in shards. That's the end of your turn. The creature then reaches back, and I need everybody except Therander to give me a dex save. Yeah.
20.
27.
20.
Really? The target number was 20.
Nice.
So as it reaches back with its hand, it literally launches a barrage of bone shards in a huge area of effect. You see bones flying through like javelins, spearing themselves into the ground, and the three of you, including Undaf, who is not so lucky.
Our contact gets killed.
Oh, Shiza.
Fuck.
So the three of you are dancing, weaving in and out of this barrage of javelin-like bones. Undoth catches it, and he takes 55 points of damage.
Dang.
Whoa.
Don't kill him.
Please.
Holy.
I try not to kill anybody. I'm just the DM.
Holy shit.
That likes to kill us.
Hence the reason I'm not playing my original character for this group. You couldn't just let me go. You had to squozen me to death. He's like, I'm making fresh squozen rope juice today.
I squeezed the squoze.
Yep.
Squoze the squeeze.
I should have put a Charmin label on myself. Don't squeeze the Charmin.
That is its attack. So it's now going to be Mr. Bubbinsworth, followed by Brewbane.
Will you move me like 3 spaces to closest to you?
In this direction?
Yeah, like I guess in that process, I tried to slide that way, sort of thing.
As you're ducking and diving and weaving away from these bone shards, that's the direction you go.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then, as a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Lightning Arrow.
Lightning arrow, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I have advantage since he's flanked, or no?
No.
Okay.
I thought we did do advantage for that. Or,
Sure.
Well, I don't know.
For
Did
ranged attacks?
you want to look that up? Just to double check
We can.
before we say yes or no. That way we know for sure.
Un momento, por favor. Okay, so unfortunately, because it's ranged and not a melee attack, you do not get the advantage for the flank.
All right. So yes, I will cast Lightning Arrow and then just shoot my arrow. It pretty much transforms into like a lightning bolt itself, and I will shoot that.
Okay. Are you just gonna do a roll to hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 25 to hit.
Son of a. That would be a hit.
Uh, 21 points of lightning damage.
Pew pew.
Okay, so you cast this spell of lightning and it comes launching out of your fingertips. And it hits.
It's the arrow.
Oh, it's an arrow. So you're shooting from a bow.
Yeah.
Okay. So and it's pure lightning from the bow, right? Mm-hmm. So as you're shooting this lightning from your magical created bow, and it hits this creature, you are an experienced spell caster. You have cast more than one spell, including this specific spell, in the past. You do see that this bolt of lightning splashes onto the creature, and it does look like the creature has taken some damage, But based off of its very nature and creation, some of that damage seems to dissipate. Almost like hitting a grounding rod and dissipating into the ground below. It doesn't, long story short, it does not have the kind of impact that you think a spell of this nature should have had.
It's okay. Second arrow, just just a normal arrow, though.
Okay, what kind of arrow is this?
A magical?
Is it?
Yes.
Son of a... Alright, go ahead.
What the neck?
You're still first.
Oh.
How am I first when you already attacked your NPC?
That's because he failed his save, but you're still first.
You still attacked him, so I wasn't first.
23.
A 23 to hit is a hit.
Out of game, metagaming, well, it's not in the middle of the turn, just so you know, if you're part of the Zent faction, you got the Ring of Evasion. If you fail a dexterity saving throw, you have 3 charges on that ring to automatically succeed that dexterity saving throw.
Thanks for reminding me, bud.
God damn it.
It recharges 1d3 charges per day.
13 points of damage.
13 points of damage.
Welcome to the Zentarium, my friends. Stay strong.
Stay strong.
Excellent. Okay. That's the end of your turn?
Yep.
I believe it is now Brubane's turn. He who shall be first is going last.
I'm not first. You already
You're gonna be
pre-attacked.
Friggin'.
Yeah, freaky.
Golly.
Yeah.
It looks like the cleric got crushed by some huge friggin' guy.
Oh my goodness.
Some huge guy.
So what do we got here? A serial crusher theory?
So I come charging up and everything with the wildfire spirit right behind me, but only it goes off to the side or to my left, and then I will attempt to hit it with the Clangadin's Benedict.
Oakley dokley.
And just ahead of time, if I do hit, do you want me to separate the damage? Because it does do radiant damage.
In this case, no. I do not need you to separate out the damage.
Alright, I'll just put it all in as one.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, hit.
Clerics versus undead. Equals good for us. I think we might need to think about re-gearing our team a little bit for the types of stuff we're going to be running into.
It's going to be a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. Oh. So while I do have Wildfire Spirit, get to add another D8 to the attack. Or you know what? Hold on. Oh, nope, scratch that. Only when I use something with fire. That's what it is.
Fire!
Fire! I say fire. It's going to be 19 points of damage. And then I will use War Priest
Okay.
to attack again.
You do that.
I will.
Go ahead.
I shall.
Very well.
$27 to hit.
Barely.
That 24 is barely.
It's going to be 18 points of damage on that one. And then the Fire Spirit is going to try to attack. So this is ranged, so I do not get advantage on it.
What kind of damage is this doing?
Fire.
Understood.
going to be 21 to hit.
Barely.
Barely. Watch.
That is.
It is.
Literally the barely.
Skin of the teeth on that one. It's going to be 11 points of fire damage.
As this fire elemental fox attacks this gargantuan skeletal-like creature, it is like watching a wave run into a stone cliff as the flame dashes up and around the bones.
Ah.
It seems to have no effect.
What the?
Is that your turn?
Yeah. That's my turn.
I don't know what to put that. So you remember that potion dagger we picked up?
Yeah.
I was like, why didn't I bury it in an ash last night so I had a flaming dagger to use in this combat? Now I'm glad I didn't. But now I'm like, okay, now what do I put it in? Maybe I'll do acid?
This thing, I don't know. I don't want to commit.
I like kibitzing.
We know you like to kibitz.
I need to stop.
You're a habitual kibitzer.
I'm a habitual line stepper when it comes to kibitzing. I like to help my team, man.
Which is good.
Ring of evasion.
That's the end of my turn, sir.
Understood. It is now going to be Therander, followed by Geth.
Is the cleric doing anything?
Oh, yes. Good question.
Not that I'm like trying to miss my turn or anything, but I figured he did take a crap ton of damage. I figured he might want to answer for some of that.
He did. Can you move? Actually, give me a second here.
One.
That's why you're first. Right there.
Second.
I swear that is why you are first.
Are you just saying first to be killed? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Mother trucker. Just a beep and a beep and a beep. Okay, I know what he's gonna do. I just need to find my player's handbook.
I thought you just had it.
I thought so too.
Because you had to look up that spell that the Blackstaff used.
Yes, I'm now pulling up another spell. I got it. I found it. This will only take me a second. I know what spell I'm going to cast.
One.
I got a whole deck of spell cards.
Are you really going to follow him?
I'm sorry.
You're now second.
Actually, I'm third.
No, I'm pretty sure you're second. He casts... Undoth casts... Call the power of Kalimdor to blast you! And so... Geth, Mr. Bubbinsworth, and Brewbane, you are now all blessed.
Oh.
And that means that whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target can add a D4 to your attack roll and your saves. Got it?
Yep.
Cool. On that happy note, it is now Therander's turn, followed by Geth.
I look around the leg and say, take cover! And then I start stabbing again. Just kidding, I don't say take cover. Like, get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Oh, get to the chopper.
Did he get a nat 20 on his cheater die?
Double 20s. I rolled 2 20s.
We need to fill a glass with salt and water.
We've already proved that the damn thing rolls different numbers. You just get lucky.
Cheater die.
And
You're just freaking bitter.
I guess I bought that.
Duh.
Pat, I guess I bought that at Cheater Dice because he used the exact same dice to get a 20. My dice that I gave him, and then Nick's dice, and he got 2 20s.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of there, buddy.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, hey, fuck you, Jonesy.
Fuck you, Shorzy.
The thing that sucks about this situation is because I'm using piercing weapons, my damage is kind of going to waste.
That was awesome, though.
What do you want? Bludgeoning?
Well, I'm an assassin. I guess I could... Ooh, too bad I didn't carry a sap around.
I can get one of those.
I can buy one. They're like a silver piece.
Madrid.
Hey, would you make me a shillelagh?
A shillelagh. Oh no, Pat got an idea.
Damn it.
A druid rogue. 25 points from that attack.
He's in the freaking park holding up a berry bush at knife point. I'm robbing you, druid rogue.
What is this luck?
You gotta be crapping me. What was the damage you did the last time?
25. I just critted again. Must have been that Jose O'Shanks.
Yeah, it must have been.
My mojo is back. Let's see, it takes...
I'm gonna let Rome handle my light work.
Yeah. Holy.
You know, just the amount of damage this guy's doing is freaking insane.
21 points of damage from a dagger. The last rapier attack. It's a good thing I was rolling the advantage because that same dice rolled a 1. But I still hit armor class 23. Eight, 12, 21 points, and I'm done.
So the rogue is in the back, still just tearing this creature down. You all can't really see it except from the sides. You just see chunks of bone from behind it flying off to the left and the right. The rogue's in the back going, "Doing work, son."
Time to punch that clock and go to work.
Guess.
3 attacks.
Of course.
First one, 22 to hit. Doing
What?
17 points of damage.
Make it merciless.
Oh. Let's just say with my maul, I come up and like, and I hit it right at that good part of the bone. And I just shatter the whole thing. Just go boom.
Boom!
Yeah.
And it just showers bone.
I think Dad, let alone, did 3/4 of the damage to this thing.
It had 297 hit points.
Dad did about 282.
I was like, that's gonna take forever. Oh, hell no. Didn't even get to use all of its special. You only attack once. Next time there'll be 3 of them.
I'm creating an anti-lich team here. We're just getting warmed up.
Roger, roger. Okay.
It's still scary.
1. Okay, so spectacularly you destroy this creature, and as you do that, the darkness, that gloom that encircles the area slowly dissipates, and the bone from these shards that have littered the ground slowly sink, almost as if the ground itself has no substance, back into the ground itself. And all the doors of the mausoleums surrounding you slam back shut. You've got yourself one quite a situation.
You alright there? I see you took a little bit of damage. Or not really a little bit, a lot.
It's just a flesh wound.
Don't give us that. If you don't mind, good sir, allow me to heal.
If you must.
What the hell?
Socket here. God, you think I freaking remember this by now?
What?
He missed it because he didn't have his headphones on.
Well,
What did he miss?
You know what he missed.
Oh, what, from here? That wasn't it. Yeah, no.
Yeah?
No.
What happened?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
What happened?
Nothing.
I need to know now.
of the story is don't be a jerk.
I can't help it. I was born that way. Jerome's over there going. You hear that? You hear that? That's the sound of nobody arguing there, buddy.
So you get 23 hit points back.
Thank you.
Certainly.
That wasn't me.
That was me. I didn't paint.
All right, let me make sure I understand your situation. You have in your possession what you believe to be a phylactery that was once created by the god Merkel.
That is correct.
And you are asking for my assistance?
We need to find a way to possibly destroy it so that we can destroy the lich that it belongs to.
What I'm gonna have to do is pray to Kalimdor, my gold.
From what I understand, Kalimdor took over Merkel's sphere, so when you pray to him, make sure you mention that it is a silver circlet with a black diamond set on the brow and 4 bone horns mounted around the edge.
I will see if I can come up with something. In the meantime, or never mind. I will come up with something. There must be a way to destroy this phylactery. I am sure the Kalimdor will help us.
Well, will you send message by bird or?
Now, tonight you will meet me at the top of Mount Waterdeep, and we will begin a ceremony. A ceremony in an attempt to destroy this abomination. There it is.
He broke down.
Me the fucking bird.
He broke down and used the word.
The word.
The word that
The
he
word
doesn't
is
like
the bird. That's true.
Whoa! The dual meaning there.
The word is the bird, son.
Not only did he flip him off.
Oh, yeah, you was going to say, you're going to follow that up?
Nah, I was gonna say, but then he used the word abomination. Can't do it, man.
It was pretty good. Better than what I could do. Better than even my Arnold.
Tonight, you will meet at the top of Mount Waterdeep. We will call upon the power of Kalimdor.
So then we should bring the item with us.
You will want to bring the item with you.
Very well.
We will do what we can in an attempt to destroy this phylactery.
And now that Merkel is no more, we shouldn't have to worry about it being reformed. Or not, yeah, Merkel. Not his god's Kalimdor.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't say the wrong thing there.
You did not say the wrong thing there.
I don't know, your head just turned when I said that, and I was just like, oh shit, did I say the wrong god name? Did I just insult his god?
He stopped
What if we are able to destroy it, what should we do with the pieces? Last time it was kept in the Tower of the Blackstaff. Should we return it there?
We will call upon the power of Kalimdor to make sure that it is annihilated.
Fair enough.
That it'll be impossible for it ever to be rebuilt, reconstructed, redone.
Looks like you might get your wish after all, Mr. Bubbinsworth. Because after the phylactery is destroyed, we know where the lich is. But he had some backup in there, didn't he? Mm-hmm. It's not just him.
Just one person.
Kind of creepy snake-headed thingy.
Medusa lady.
I don't think it was a lady.
I can't burst down that thing, because if I do that, I won't be able to burst on the lich. Out of game. But I don't know. I might need to get a different type of rapier, because this necrotic rapier doesn't work so good against undead.
Rapier. Excellent.
I mean, maybe like a holy avenger of assassination.
So,
Like that really exists. I'm joking.
I mean, I could literally put elemental weapon on it and give it kind of a different Granted, you would still be doing, I think, you'd still be doing the necrotic, but you would also be doing that other element.
Well, it doesn't do the necrotic unless I actually choose to do the wounding ability of the sword.
Oh, true. So yeah, I mean, I could
So
give
right
you...
now it's just a magic sword, but I don't know if you, I don't know if you'd be able to put another element on top of a magic weapon or not.
Pretty sure you can.
Because it's just a temporary spell, right?
Yeah, it's just a temporary spell. It's not permanent. I can't do permanent.
The only thing that sucks though too is like after seeing what happened with your fox and that bone thing, I figured fire would have worked on it because it was undead, but it was immune to fire.
Yeah, I thought so too, but you know, Chet.
Tonight, I will meet you on the top of Mount Waterdeep. At the darkest hour, we will call upon the power Kelmvor to see if he will help us annihilate this phylactery that you have in your possession, snuffing out any essence that may be remaining of miracle.
Excellent.
Oi.
Oh, wow. He does speak Dwarvish.
Oh,
That's how you know if
this one's cultured.
That's how you know if they speak Dwarvish. That's funny.
Boy.
I guess make our way back out of the City of Dead and wait for another carriage, which we know doesn't take very long in Waterdeep. So
No, it's like catching a cab in New York City or like downtown Manhattan.
After that time, another swirling vortex of fire, and then the flaming spirit will jump into it
And disappear. Like a portal of flame.
Yep.
Very cool. Cool. Mm-hmm. All right, so you guys are able to catch a carriage. I assume you make your way back to the warehouse. Is that a correct assumption?
yes.
Okay.
And then we'll wait until nighttime and then go to the top of Waterdeep.
Awesome.
With the chest carrying the phylactery.
Understood.
Geez, so that episode where if we do manage to destroy the phylactery today, the next time we play, I guess I'm gonna have to take the day off, huh? Call in sick that day, so I'm not here for the lich fight. Oof. The heavy lifted, man, I can't do it. I'm hurt.
I mean, who else is supposed to take care of my light work?
If that's your light work, I don't want to see your heavy work.
Yeah. Well, this man has to become a god in one of the campaigns, so he does have some pretty heavy work.
We should have taken the soulmonger and turned ourselves into gods. I'm just kidding. I don't think it works that way.
I thought Valindra did that. She didn't take it?
I don't
Pretty
think
sure
so.
somebody had to have taken it.
Taking what now?
I thought we destroyed the soulmonger.
I'm pretty sure. I think we killed it. Everything like that, but a lot of the research and everything like that, or whatever.
Yeah, so you guys killed the Atropal.
Tropal, yeah.
Yes, you did do that. And as far as like, I think, if I remember correctly, Jerome's character specifically did damage to the soulmonger, like shutting it down. But whatever was left, the pieces and any information regarding it was taken by Valandra.
And we said we'll deal with that another time
That is exactly what you said.
because we weren't in the mood to fight her because we knew our job still wasn't done even though we had dealt with the soulmonger. Because we did the soulmonger and then we faced Asarak, right?
Yeah. That's exactly how it went.
And then we beat Feet.
Beat feet. Bring forth the top of the mountain. There are graves up here?
No.
Oh. They're just, I take it they're stones.
Correct.
Pillars.
Yes. Is there anything that you all wanted to do when you were back at the warehouse?
Damn, I don't think anybody took damage.
Nope, it was just me. Just me.
It's a good thing, though, too, man. That was a hefty chunk of damage. 55 points.
Yeah, that would put me down a half.
And it's both of the saves were difficult. They were like, one was like that one particular save was a dex save at 20, and his other attack that I was going to do, which was a con save of 20. But no. Not gonna let Patrick have his fun. No.
Not today.
Okay, so the rest of the day goes by pretty uneventful. It's possible for you to get in a short rest if you need it.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take a short rest. I mean, if we have the time, might as well.
Yeah, it's going to be several, because you guys made this journey still during the daytime, and that at the height, which is basically midnight, is when you're supposed to find yourself on the top of Mount Waterdeep. However, it's not like you're going to leave the warehouse at 11. You're probably going to want to leave before the sunset, because trying to find your way up a mountainside in the dark might
with
be
people that have basically all of us have dark vision.
Do you all have dark vision?
Yes.
Including Geth?
Yep.
Oh, well,
Because of the bolts of Dwarvish. I mean, the belt of.
No, well then never mind. So yeah, at night in the dark, with your special eyes,
My special eyes.
my special eyes, you make your way up Waterdeep. You find yourself there is Waterdeep. The city of Waterdeep has been around for quite some time, but this location goes back even before there was a human settlement. There used to be a combination between an elven nation and a dwarven nation, all located within this area. At the top of Mount Waterdeep are ruins, ancient ruins, far gone. There's very little remnant of this. You find stones that kind of lay around in a circle at the top of this mountain, but what it was, what architecture it was, is so far gone. It is beyond your comprehension to be able to put together the pieces to determine what it was at, thousands and thousands of years ago. There are torches stuck in the ground amongst the stones, a light and the flame wavers in this breeze that comes off of the Sea of Swords up that cliffside and coming over the top on this mountain. It's not windy to the point where it's going to blow you off, but there is definitely a strong wind here, just based off of its location next to the ocean above these cliffside. A cliffside which you have been through and took you previously to Skullport. Standing amongst all of this, you see Undoth Obone. That wasn't me.
That wasn't me.
It's Nick. Nick's over there doing it. The look you gave me, I haven't done it once today.
Oh, you haven't?
Nuh-uh. Not once.
Yes, I did that on purpose.
Killing me.
What? Because every time I'm like,
Yeah. Looking at me like I'm guilty or something.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Anyway, at the top here, amongst these stones and these lit torches, is Undoth, and he has in his hand like a ceremonial staff, and he's drawing symbols across the ground as he's drawing them with the staff, and you can hear him murmuring, almost like a chant to himself, as you climb your way up to the top of this mountain.
Oh wait, no.
One, you really want to get closer to the mic. The look on your face is hilarious.
That's what he sounds like. That's all I know.
It's funny though when you do impressions or you try to make your voice sound a certain way, how your face reacts to you trying to do the impression. Because technically, you don't really need to make a face when you're doing the impression, but for some reason, your mind tells you I have to make myself look ridiculous. It's really weird.
Are you saying that I look ridiculous, Jerome? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know, man.
That's why you're 3.
What?
That means I come in last.
What?
I know who's all gonna die from the liches first.
I got initiative. I'll leave.
No doubt.
I'll take you with me.
Wow.
Better. Told you. Better. What do you guys want to do? How do you want to do it?
I guess wait until he's done chanting so we don't interrupt any type of the... I don't know if has already started in preparation for the ritual, so...
He does look like he's prepping.
So I'd say just hang out right here until he says, bring the item forward, or whatever he says.
Bring the item forward.
Okay. Bring the chest.
That was quick.
That was quick.
You, oi, dwarf, move over here to the west. Gath, barbarian, you will be over here to the east. You, didn't get your name.
Button skirts.
Bobby skirts. You will be at the south. And you, sir, to the north. Get into position.
Go ahead and move your characters.
Can you move me up to where I need to be?
No, I can't.
Now that you're all in position, it is a dark night. You can see the stars above. An occasional cloud passes by. And he begins his enchantment.
Before he starts, I'll let him know that as soon as we open the chest, bad stuff happens. It'll try and suck your soul out of it. Isn't it that?
No.
Or that was
I
a
think
different
this one actually like talks.
Yes.
It tries to speak to you through your mind.
Put me on.
Yeah.
Do it.
The power you can have.
Do it. Do it. That.
You know the only
Not one
way
of that.
the only way to defeat the Lich is to eat. This is folly. We have the enemy's weapon. We should use it against him. Yeah, we saw how well that turned out.
Cast it into the fire.
No.
So he begins the enchantment, and he does open the chest. And as soon as he does that, this blast of air comes over the top of the mountain, blowing most of the torches out. Circling around you, the air starts to thicken and darken. You can feel a sense of evil building up. The hair on the back of your neck starts to stand up. Goosebumps start building up along your forearms. You can hear a small whisper, one of evil intent in your mind. This voice in your head starts to talk to you about what it is that you want most in life, and how it has the power to grant you that. Such as, do you wish to break this curse? Do you wish to be free of this curse. That's right, that was my stomach. I, and I alone, have the power to grant you what it is that you want. But you must be the first to take me and put me on. I have the power of a god. I can make you a god. You will never have to worry about another lich. You will never have to worry about the power of Asarak. I will make you nigh invulnerable to all of that. This is your opportunity. This is your avenue, the one that you beg for, the one you wish for, the one that keeps you awake at night. This is what you want. I can grant you everything. Is it power that you want? I can give that to you. Is it riches that you want? I can give that to you.
Bastard. I'm not a good character here.
When he said what is best in life.
What is best in life?
You almost said it, didn't you?
I did. To see my enemies driven before me in the lamentations of the women. Wait, what?
Tell me, what is your deepest wish?
What do you truly desire?
Truly desire. You wish this all to end. You wish to break the curse. I can give that to you.
It's just gonna kill you.
I will make you immortal. I will make you a god.
I already lived like 500 times more than these guys. I don't need that.
If you let him destroy me, the very thing that you want will be outside of your grasp. Forever.
We'll be one step closer.
Without me, you will never break the curse. You will never be free.
Your curse is broken.
Wow. Not even hesitating here.
Do not listen to this creature, this abomination.
He threw the abomination out.
Now I really want it broken.
Snickerdoodle. Do it. Take me and put me upon your brow.
You know, it's tempting, but I've seen what happens when you put stuff on or pick stuff up that the DM tries to coerce you into grabbing, and it never ends well.
Kibitzing. Metagaming.
Yeah.
What does your character do?
I mean, it's tempting, yeah, but
With the dwarf, it's actually not that tempting.
for me, it's tempting. But at the same time, it's like my guy's afraid he'll lose control of himself. He won't be himself anymore. So what's the point?
We will rule the universe together, you and I.
As this is going on, and you're fighting this, not so much the dwarf or Mr. Bubbinsworth. Gath, I have no idea what he's doing.
I'm hesitating as well, like Dad's character.
He's looking at the flower from the Chwanga. That's nice. That's nice.
No, I'm hesitating because what I truly desire is want to see my clan again and my parents. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
hesitating
he
too.
didn't say that, so.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still hesitating.
The Chwinga that lives in the extra-dimensional space of your beard climbs out,
Slap it!
gets in your face. He's holding on to you with his hands to your cheeks, right? His little feet on your chin. Actually, one hand is up on your nostril, using it to hold on like he's climbing like the rock face of a cliff. And he's getting right up in your face. very silently because he can't talk. But he's just shaking his head, and he's trying his little tiny best to shake you away from any of this temptation. The rest of you just see this tiny little creature on his face. It almost looks like it's trying to hump his face as it's shaking. It's going back and forth. As his head's going like this. His little, and it's tiny, like it's like whole handprints, like in his cheek as it's trying to like slap him to get his attention.
As long as it's not convincing him, then I kind of just let it happen. I'm like, maybe he needs a little slap in the face.
As this is going on, a darkness swirls and builds around the top of this mountain, like you're in the eye of a hurricane.
Don't do that.
Little bits of lightning start to flash across the wall of this darkened halo that's built around the mountaintop. Above you is just a little speck of the sky, and you can just barely make out the stars up there, but everything else is a gloom. And it seems to be constricting and getting smaller. Undoth, his chanting builds up, both in speed and vocal volume. I need everybody to roll me initiative.
What? Uh-oh.
What, to see who grabs the crown first and puts it on?
No.
Okay.
Thrander.
18.
Geth.
16.
Bumsworth.
15.
Brubane.
20.
So did I.
This darkness, this essence of evil, you can see along its surface the looks of faces pressing. It's almost like they're being pressed up, like the inside of like a balloon being pressed out towards you. They're not making any sounds. The only sound is the whirling sound of the wind picking up, the whoosh sound. But this darkness reaches out and makes an attempt to engulf you. Or hit you, or strangle the life and suck out your essence. It makes one attack on Brubane. And Brubane, your armor class is 20. 18 or 20.
So it's right now it's 18.
Now it is 18. It is not successful.
Okay.
Geth, in your case, even if your armor class is 20, it does hit you.
21.
Even if it's 21, it does hit you. As this darkness is circling around, it reaches out, and you can see it's like a little mini version, like a dust devil. You see it encircling around Geth. And Geth, you're going to take 19 points of psychic damage. As you hear that voice in your head going, "Pick me up, take me." And you're fighting it off. You're now like, screaming out as it's attacking you on a mental level. And then the last attack is going to be on Thrander. Thrander, your armor class is 19? Or 18?
It's 18 because I don't have my weapons drawn.
It is going to hit armor class 20, and you're going to take 19 points of psychic damage.
No.
It is now going to be Brewbane, followed by Thrander. For clarification, this falls into the gargantuan category, and it is encircling all of you.
Okay.
So there is no right or wrong answer in this, as far as what or how you're attacking it, because it's everywhere. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Brewbane hoists his warhammer into the air.
Yep.
Clangadin, give your servant the light to protect.
And then I'll swing out the darkness, I guess.
Nice.
Uh, 27 to hit.
A 27 will hit. The target number is 16.
Okay. Do you need me to separate the damage?
What's the damage?
It's radiant.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I will need you to separate the radiant out.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, definitely separate the radiant damage out for me, please.
Okay. So it's going to be 15 points of bludgeoning damage, and then it's going to be 4 points of radiant.
You said 15 and 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so you call upon the power of Clangadin, and this light, I'm assuming, is on your weapon, and it is like somebody hitting the area with a very powerful floodlight in the area. Everything becomes, especially surrounding where Brewbane is, very bright, and he swings into the darkness, and you can see it's like throwing a flashlight into a wave of water, but in this case that water is pure black. But you can still, through all that black, that inky blackness, that light slamming and blasting into that darkness with an effect greater than one would have expected. The darkness actually shrinks back from it, still taking that damage, but the effect is quite dramatic. Like throwing fire on a haystack.
Oh, wow.
Anything else?
I will use Warp Priest and give it another go.
Oakley.
This one is going to be 28 to hit. So it's going to be 14 points of just regular bludgeoning damage, and then 2 points of radiant.
Again, same thing. The hit is definitely doing damage from your magical weapon. Mm-hmm. It is a magical weapon, right?
Oh yeah.
But the radiance, it's like a lighthouse on a dark night.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And that'll end my turn.
It is now going to be Thurander, followed by Geth, followed by Bubbinsworth.
I guess I'll draw my blades and swing at the stuff swirling around me.
You attack the darkness?
Yep. But unfortunately, I am not Gallsplat, the sorcerer of light.
Oh my goodness gracious. Fair enough.
Hit armor class 24.
Hit.
And now we see my character out of his element for 8 points of damage. You have defanged the serpent.
Yay!
Second attack hits armor class 22.
Hit.
For 10 points of damage. And the final attack. 23.
Hit.
For 12 points.
Okay.
He'll holler, "Leave me be!" as he swings at the darkness.
Geth?
I'll swing at the darkness.
Okay.
Also.
Oh, he goes enraged.
Berserk.
3 attacks.
He's going to attack Berserker.
22 to hit.
That's a hit. 16's the target number.
16 points of damage on the first hit.
Okay.
16 to hit. 17. Doing 13 points of damage. Oh, I thought that was a 1. 7. 17 to hit, doing 15 points of damage. That's it.
Okay. So between the two of you, and you're swinging with your magical weapons into this darkness. It's like swinging at wet laundry. You're hitting it, you're doing damage, but nowhere near to the kind of dramatic effect that the cleric's doing. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Mr. Bubbinsworth.
As a bonus action, I'm gonna do Slayer's Prey. So add 1d6 to first attack each turn. Let me open that up just in case.
You do that. I have no idea what she's doing.
You can focus on a foe, increasing the harm you inflict as a bonus action. You designate one creature that you can see. Can I see the creature?
Yes.
Okay.
In its strange form, yes.
Awesome. So I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
And then I actually am also going to use the sharpshooter feat and just automatically say that I'm gonna minus 5 off of my attack roll.
Okay.
And so if my attack roll is successful, I can also add 10 to that.
Okay. This is magic.
And I'm pretty much just shooting a magical arrow kind of in the directions where I know no one's really at, so I don't hit them.
Okay. Sounds reasonable.
23 to hit.
Nope. Just kidding. That's it. She didn't even. Did you see? She didn't even flinch.
Yeah.
She completely ignored me.
She enthusiastically ignored you.
You're right. Got shut down.
22 points of piercing damage.
22.
22 points.
Nick misses those ravens. He misses.
And then
visiting
28 for the second hit.
28 for the second hit. That's a hit.
Wrong one.
Barely.
Only doing 10 points of damage.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Again, even though you added this additional magical might to your attacks, and it helped, it doesn't seem to have quite the same dramatic effect as what the cleric's doing over there, calling upon the power and light of Glangadin. In the center of all this, Undoth continues with the ceremony and trying to call down the power of Kellamvor. You hear him scream out over the sound of the whooshing wind. Hold it off! Buy me some time! Buy me some time! Hold it off!
What the?
On that note, I need everybody to make me a dex save. Thrander.
23.
Geth.
18.
Bubbinsworth.
27.
Brubane.
52.
It's going to be 17.
All right. The entire circle of gloom shrinks in, and everybody, with the exception of Brubane, is able to dodge, move, roll out of the way as it shrinks in. Brubane becomes engulfed as the circle shrinks in into the very storm that's swirling around you. Brubane.
Oh, wait.
You're going to take You're going to take 23 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
You're going to suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
You are under the blinded and restrained.
I can't be blinded.
Okay, then you are under the restrained effect.
And how much damage was that again?
23, I believe.
Okay.
It is now going to be Thrander followed by Geth. Imagine if somebody had a flashlight in their hand, which was what Brubane kind of had, and it was at night, and they dived into the waters of the ocean, and you could still see that little glow of light coming from under the water. You can't see the individual, but you could see that light. That's the situation that Brubane is in. He is in a wash of darkness. Go ahead.
I guess I'm gonna keep attacking.
Very well.
I mean, I don't know. Can I move in this stuff, or was I supposed to stay in a certain position? Like, he didn't really...
I cannot answer that question. I am just the DM.
Alright. Well, I guess I'll play it safe and just keep attacking, since he said to try to hold it off and give him more time.
Yeah, so as far as the effect is concerned, Undoth is not the one who's being impacted, just Brubane.
Gotcha. And I think that's because we're taking the brunt of it at this point?
Yeah, so the circle has enclosed towards the center. But where you guys are lined up is where the edge is, with the exception of Brewbane, who's now actually inside the circle.
Darkness.
The darkness.
Hit 27, 20, and 14.
The 14 does not hit.
Okay, so we'll say a rapier and a dagger attack.
Understood. Both magical attacks.
Yes, I know that they're not really super effective at this point, so I'm just doing it to go through the motions to try and hold it off, I guess.
You're doing better than a swift kick to the nuts. How's that?
Well, that's what I'm trying to accomplish. So in total, 17 points of damage from both attacks.
17?
Yes.
Okay. Geth, followed by... No, I'm wrong. It's actually Brewbane's turn. Brewbane?
Okay.
It's your turn.
Can I see your
However, at the start of your
dagger
turn, you're going to take 23 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
You all can still hear this voice in your head, but it's now getting to the point, with the exception of you, Brewbane, almost begging. Like, come on, man, come on. You know you want to do it, come on, do it. But in your head, you hear more of a, if you do not put it on, you will die here. Grab the crown, save your life. Or perish forever. What would you like to do, Brewbane? No pressure.
So I am in this. I'm gonna take this circling darkness, and I'm in it.
Yeah, it's like a think of it. Yeah, exactly.
So I take it out. I would have to move
To get out.
to get out.
Yes.
Okay.
But to do that, if that's what you want to do, I need you to actually, and this is very strange, make a wisdom save.
Okay. Oh, easy peasy. 25.
There's a tremendous flash of light as Glangaden's favor falls upon you in your mind, giving you but the briefest moment to fight off this darkness. You all notice that the circle shrinks back away from all of you. That includes you. You find yourself now standing outside of that darkness. You fought it off through willpower and your faith in your God. That is your turn.
Okay.
It is now going to be, now it's Geth's turn, followed by Mr. Bubbinsworth.
I attack the darkness.
You do that.
I attack the darkness.
25 to hit.
That's a miss. You didn't even...
14 points of damage.
Okay.
And then a 29 to hit.
Cheers.
Doing 18 points of damage.
Make it merciless.
He just reels back and he just like hits the darkness and it just like vanishes when I hit it. Yeah. Boom.
Woof. The darkness is blown away through Geth's sheer anger and rage. And just after that, this massive, ethereal, skeletal hand comes crashing up out of the ground beneath Undaf's feet. Not right where he's standing, but right where the chest with the crown of horns in it. And it comes up, it's massive, it's gargantuan. Think this is the chest, and this is the size of the skeletal hand that comes crashing up through the ground. But it's both material and ethereal. Material enough to actually grab that chest. What you can kind of see through it. and it comes reaching up, and you see that the hand is you can feel the ground shaking and rumbling beneath your feet as the fist slowly, and you can see, because it's inside of its hand but ethereal, you can see that chest slowly, through tremendous godlike power, get crushed down like a car in a compactor until it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it is crushed and winked out of existence. And then the hand slowly fades back into the ground. On that note, we will end today's episode wondering what the characters will do next now that they have finally succeeded in destroying their first of 26 phylacteries.
Yay!
This has been a Merciless Gaming Media Dungeons & Dragons podcast production. Everyone here at Merciless Gaming Media, Jerome, Keegan, Nick, sometimes Casey, and myself, Patrick, truly thank you for your patronage. Come check out our Merciless Gaming Media Facebook page for updates on future podcasts. And later this week, I plan to upload a document that helps to flesh out your Rogues Thieves Camp for role-playing.